Welcome to Albuquerque, New Mexico, to Outposts Ice Arenas, home of the New Mexico Ice Wolves, as they take on the Amarillo Wranglers in a thrilling matchup here in the desert. Guy Chiarenza with you here this evening as an epic South Division showdown comes together here tonight as the Wranglers and the Ice Wolves meet together in this building for the first time since the 2024 Robertson Cup play-in. Wranglers and the Ice Wolves find themselves in different points in the standings here at this juncture in the season, and for the Wranglers it is a critical weekend as they need the 2 points just about more than anybody in the South Division, as Amarillo entering tonight finds themselves in 8th place with a record of 18-24-1-3 with 40 points on the season, just 8 points back out of a playoff spot, which is 6th place, currently occupied by Colorado with 48 points on the season. Wranglers have 3 more games left on their schedule than the Grip, and then ahead of Colorado in 4th place are the Ice Wolves with a record of 24-22-3 with 53 points on the season. And at first glance, looking at the Ice Wolves, you wouldn't have noticed that they had went on a 10-game losing streak to open the season. They have really turned the tide of their season to climb all the way back up to 4th place under first-year head coach Kevin Hartzell. For the Wranglers, they are also led by a first-year head coach in Corey Wolchtek, and he is trying to will his club into the playoff picture, and they do have a path to do it. But it starts here this weekend in Albuquerque, and the Wranglers need to find a way to pick up some more critical points in the playoff race. This rivalry gets set for its latest chapter. It is the 23rd all-time meeting between the Wranglers and the Ice Wolves. It is the 3rd meeting this season, and for as big as rivals as these two are, and as close as they are, just a hip, skop, and a stone's throw away off of I-40, they only play each other 4 times in a single season, and this being the 3rd. So kicks off an exciting weekend here at Outposts Ice Arenas. First game of a 2-game set. Happy to have you with us here on NATV and YouTube. So for the Wranglers, in fact, their journey started last weekend in Oklahoma to kick off a 4-game road trip, this being the 3rd game of that set. Wranglers will be home next weekend to take on Lone Star for 3. Wranglers went to Oklahoma City, lost on Friday night 4-1, a performance that they were not happy with. They felt like they could have done better. They felt like they should have had that game. And so on Saturday night, they find themselves down 3-1 in the 3rd period. And then that's where that Wranglers magic comes into play, baby. The Wranglers do what the Wranglers are going to do, and they're going to come off with a win on Saturday night in Oklahoma. An improbable comeback, capped off 4-3 in overtime by Kirill Evshunev. Wranglers, again, fell down 3-1. Wranglers actually scored first in that game. Mason Lupo notched his first goal as a Wrangler for Paul Wiechek, double-dipped and got 2 goals to make it a 2-1 Oklahoma lead through 2 periods. Warriors made it 3-1 with a power play goal from Trent Burleson to open the 3rd period, and that's where the adversity kicks in. All right, the Wranglers really have their backs against the wall, season on the line, and then they find a way to get it done. 2 3rd period goals, one from Evshunev and one from LaFrance on the power play to tie the game at 3. Sent it to OT, and the Wranglers get the job done off the stick of Kirill Evshunev. His 2nd of the night is the game winner, and Charles-Antoine Girard had his best performance of his career. Dazzling saves, 25 of them, was enough for the win, and his 2nd in his North American Hockey League career. He stopped 25 of 28 as the Wranglers went 1 for 4 on the power play and 1 for 2 on the penalty kill in OKC last weekend. Wranglers trying to make it 2 in a row with a win here tonight. Ice Wolves are on a 3-game win streak. In their last game, they took down the El Paso Rhinos 2-1 here in this building, and what ended up being a sweep of El Paso. Rhinos have won their last 3 against Odessa, and then, of course, the 2 against the Rhinos. Climb all the way up into 4th place in the South Division. The Wranglers need these points, though. Again, you look at the playoff picture, there's not much room for error for the Wranglers down the stretch, but the good thing is that the schedule does favor them here down the stretch. But again, it starts here in Albuquerque. They need these points, and they need them badly. And luckily for the Wranglers, they've got 2 recent college commits on their roster that are going to help them on their way to that playoff push. More on that to come, as we'll take a moment to step aside here in Albuquerque before we get to the further stages of the Austin Does pregame show. But here's a message from the Amarillo Ice Ranch, the coolest place in town.
Hit the ice at Amarillo Ice Ranch, the only year-round facility in Amarillo. First-time skaters, novice hockey players, kids, and adults are welcome. A great place to celebrate a birthday. Have a blast at one of our various programs, special events, and camps. The Ice Ranch is a state-of-the-art facility. professional coaches and trainers who are passionate about growing ice sports in Amarillo. Lace up your skates today at the Amarillo Ice Ranch.
Welcome back to Albuquerque, New Mexico, as we get set for the latest chapter of the Wranglers and Ice Wolves rivalry. Wranglers trying to make sure that they get this one under their belt this time, as the Ice Wolves have won the previous two. Wranglers are 0-1-1 versus New Mexico this season. These two teams last met on January 17th and 18th at the Budweiser bullpen, where the Ice Wolves won the first night 2-1 in overtime off of a game-winning goal from Nyam Pai, and then a 5-2 victory for New Mexico on January 18th. And we haven't seen the Ice Wolves since then. It's been about 12 games for the Wranglers on their season schedule since they last saw the Ice Wolves, and they're looking very different these days. And so we'll see how the Wranglers match up against the Ice Wolves this time around. But something tells me Wranglers are going to put up a pretty good fight here tonight, and they just like they did last weekend in Oklahoma City. So for the Wranglers here entering this weekend, we've got some news, and boy is it good news. We have two new college commits on the Wranglers roster. We're starting with J.S. Pack, who committed to Augsburg University earlier in the week. On Monday, defenseman J.S. Pack announced his commitment to play NCAA Division III hockey for Augsburg University up in Minnesota. Pack hasn't been a Wrangler for very long, but in his 8 games with the he has made a huge impact with 2 assists and a +2 rating, has given the Wranglers a big boost defensively, and is one of the reasons why the Wranglers are back in the playoff hunt. Another guy that made a college commitment earlier in the week, just yesterday, a guy that's been here for a good amount of time. In fact, he's one of 2 Wranglers making his second appearance in this building. Morley Phillips, Wranglers captain, committed to SUNY Cortland earlier in the week. Phillips, in 80 games with the Wranglers, has notched 16 goals and 24 assists for 40 points. And earlier in the season, he was named the 5th captain in franchise history. Phillips is having a monster season for the Wranglers, leading them in goals, assists, and points, with 11 goals, 18 assists for 29 points in 44 games. And watch out for Morley here tonight, as he has 3 goals and 6 assists in his last 7 games. And the Wranglers, when they've needed it, have gotten that depth scoring. As we turn our sights back to that Saturday game in Oklahoma, Kirill Evshinev had 2 goals for the Wranglers, and Mark LaFrance had a goal and an assist. And his goal couldn't have come at a better time to tie that game at 3 on the power play. I was able to talk with Mark earlier in the week for the latest episode of Wranglers Weekly. You can catch that episode on our YouTube channel. It was great talking to Mark, and seems like he's enjoyed his time as a Wrangler, and we've enjoyed having him. So we'll see if LaFrance can get it done for the Wranglers again here tonight against a surging New Mexico Ice Wolf team. And with that, let's get to the Ice Wolves as we bring you to tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Street Toyota. We'll start at left wing with number 12, Ethan Hall, who is having a heck of a year for the Ice Wolves, standing at 5'10", 170 pounds, the native of River Falls, Wisconsin. Leads the team in assists with 22, as Hull has 10 goals and 22 assists for 32 points in 44 games. He has had a point in every other game over his last 7 games. His starting center here tonight is number 9, Jake Casey, standing at the same figure, 5'10", 170 pounds, native of Livonia, Michigan. Casey this season has 4 goals and 2 assists for 6 points in 44 games with the Ice Wolves, as he was a 7th-round pick in last summer's draft. His starting right wing is an Army commit, standing at 5'8", 175 pounds. It's Sean Gibbons, a native of Southgate, Connecticut, rounding out the starting forward group for New Mexico, as Gibbons has 5 goals and 10 assists for 15 points in 36 games. On the season, he's been passing the puck around quite a bit over his last 5 games. 3 assists in that span, including 1 on Saturday in this building against the El Paso Rhinos. Starting on defense for the Ice Wolves, number 2, Sean Smiths gets the nod at left D, standing at 6'2", 200 pounds, the native of Canton, Michigan. Has played in every single game this season for the Ice Wolves, has 10 assists on the season, 2 of those coming in his last 5. His starting D partner here tonight at right defense is number 27, Damon Bickler, standing at 5'8", 175 pounds, the native of Flower Mound, Texas. Rounds out the starting 5 skaters for the Ice Wolves. As on the season, Bickler has 3 goals and 16 assists for 19 points in 45 games. As the starting netminder for the Ice Wolves tonight, number 31, Jackson Fuller, standing at 5'10", 170 pounds. Fuller has been making a lot of noise as of late in an appearance at Top Prospects for the South Division team, and No wonder. He's having one heck of a year for New Mexico, and he's the reigning league goaltender of the month. As in the month of February, Fuller posted a .942 save percentage, a 1.86 goals against average, stopping 211 out of 224 shots, the second most out of any goalie in the league in that span, posting a 6-1 record to help New Mexico back to fourth place in the South Division. And in his most recent outing on Saturday, he stopped 17 of 18 in the 2-1 win over El Paso. On the season, Fuller has 19 wins, a 2.02 goals against average, a .926 save percentage, and 4 shutouts in 32 appearances this season. And so Fuller really is the large catalyst as to why the Ice Wolves have found themselves back in the playoff picture after suffering a 10-game losing streak, as New Mexico has won their last 3. They are led by head coach Kevin Hartzell and assistant coach Kyle McKenzie. Now let's get to the starting lineup for your Amarillo Wranglers as they hit the road for the 3rd straight game. Developing new development for the Wranglers here tonight. Kirill Evshunev is out tonight due to illness, as is Noah Ribeiro. So that's a huge hit to the Wranglers' depth here tonight, especially after Evshunev scored 2 goals for the Wranglers in their thrilling overtime victory in Oklahoma on Saturday. Looks like Daniel Resega will take his place on a line with Satterdalen and Phillips, and it will be that line that starts the game for the Wranglers here tonight, as Resega, wearing number 77, stands at 5'10", 175 pounds. The native of Phoenix, Arizona, gets the start at left wing. Resega on the season has 3 goals and 8 assists for 11 points in 42 games. Watch out for him as he has 3 goals and 2 assists in his last 6. His starting center here tonight, number 3, Cole Satterdalen, standing at 6'5", 190 pounds. The native of Eden Prairie, Minnesota, one of those pickups for the Wranglers close to the trade deadline, and he has been a major acquisition, scoring just about every single game that he's played as a Wrangler. Came over from Aberdeen, has 19 points in 40 games, and 8 of those have come in 8 games with the Wranglers, as he has 4 goals and 4 assists, and in a Wrangler uniform. He's starting right wing here tonight, wearing number 11. It's the latest commitment, the captain, Morley Phillips, headed to Cortland next season, standing at 6'4", 215 pounds. The native of Raleigh, North Carolina, has really done a good job leading this team this season, as Phillips has 11 goals, 18 assists for 29 points in 44 games to lead the club in all of those categories. Phillips has done the job of leading this team very, very well. See if he can do it again here in enemy territory in a raucous building here at Outposts Ice Arenas. Starting at left defense, it's number 6, Heikki Paipinen, the Finn, standing at 5'11", 194 pounds. Paipinen this season has been sturdy defensively and got the assist on the game-winning goal on Saturday's win on Evshunev's OT winner. Paipinen now up to 7 apples on the season in 42 games, and he's a +2 over his last 7. His starting D partner here tonight is number 2, Will Welburn, alternate captain of the Wranglers, standing at 6'9", 240 pounds. The native of Rye, New York, came in earlier in the season and has been a leader on and off the ice. And watch out for Welburn as he's over a point per game in his last 5. He has really taken his game to the next level, as he has 12 points in 38 games this season on the blue line, 1 goal and 5 assists in his last 5, including 2 assists on Saturday, which was his 2nd multi-point game of the season. Welburn has also, just like Phillips, done a great job of leading the way for this Wranglers club as they try and surge towards the playoffs. And really, just like the Ice Wolves, the main catalyst in their season turnaround has come between the pipes. It's number 33, Matt Shepoister, getting the start for Amarillo, standing at 6'3", 181 pounds. The Minnesota native got the night off in Saturday's OT winner as Gerard took the helm and led the Wranglers to victory, making some sensational stops. But don't forget, Shepoister in his own right put together a highlight reel kind of game on Friday for the Wranglers, as in that contest, Shepoister was phenomenal in a losing effort as he stopped 18 of 21 in what was a 4-1 loss to the Warriors. Shepoister on the season came over from the Springfield Junior Blues at the trade deadline. Will be playing in game number 20 this season with a record of 10-7-0-1, a 2.81 goals against average, a .908 save percentage, and 2 shutouts on the season. Wranglers are led by head coach Corey Woltek. Assistant coach is Ryan Seavey. And the president of hockey operations and general manager is Harry Mahood, as the Wranglers return to raucous Outpost Ice Arenas for the first time since the epic play-in round against New Mexico last season. It was the Ice Wolves that won that series in 2 games. Wranglers now, as the Ice Wolves are surging, trying to get revenge here on the road and pick up some critical points in the playoff race. It's all going down here in Albuquerque tonight, and we couldn't be happier to have you with us on NATV and YouTube. Coming up next year from the land of enchantment, it is the national anthem, and when we return, first period puck drop between these two South Division rivals. This has been the Austin Nose pregame show here on NATV and YouTube. We're back in just a moment for the Wranglers and the Ice Wolves.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Outpost. Before I get started, I'm going to ask you guys tonight only, don't tap your sticks. Walpy gets a little nervous. Okay, so we can applaud, we can join, but the stick taps on the ice get to be a little bit too much. But we thought tonight, with the Wranglers in town, this blackout weekend with our black jerseys, we thought it was very appropriate to bring in Walpy, our guests and our fans, and this is Walpy here with Stephanie Kalin from the Wanagi Wolf Rescue Foundation. During the game, up here in the land of enchantment suite, anybody's welcome to go up and meet Walpy, take a picture, and learn more about the rescue program, which is so wonderful that we have it right here in the Albuquerque area. And Stephanie's just going to say a word or two quickly before we call the captain up.
Thank you so much for having us here. We are honored to be here. Walpy is a wolf dog who's approximately 7 or 8 years old. I've been rescuing my entire life, and Walpy was rescued from Wichita, Kansas, and his name in Lakota means the one who is lucky.
Fantastic. So let's bring a little luck here tonight. If we could have the captains come over, don't make a fast stop, come over a little gently. Face off right here with the cameras in that angle, so make sure that we get you to back up a little bit so the camera's got it. There we go. Now for everyone who can, please stand. Gentlemen, please take off your hats. Players, take off your helmets. Face the west end of the arena for the national anthem.
We are all set and ready to go in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Here at Outposts Ice Arenas, it's the New Mexico Ice Wolves hosting the Amarillo Wranglers in the first game of a 2-game set. Hi, everybody. Guy Chiarenza here from the land of enchantment. Wranglers and the Ice Wolves meeting for the 3rd time this season. They just brought out what they figure is their lucky dog here on the ice for pregame festivities. Wranglers are hoping to make sure that, better luck next time as they try and come away from this building here tonight with 2 points in their back pocket, just 8 points out of a playoff spot. It's do or die times for the Wranglers. They're trying to get a big upset win here in enemy territory over their rivals. Starting netminders here tonight for the Wranglers, it's Matt Shepboyster. For New Mexico, it is Jackson Fuller. Ice Wolves wearing black jerseys with turquoise, yellow, and red mixed in. Skating from left to right, Wranglers wearing white jerseys with blue numbers and professional red trim will skate from right to left to open the first period here in Albuquerque. Satterdahl meets it at the dot, taking the draw against Casey. Ice Wolves win it, and away we go from New Mexico. Bickler off the far wall and down. Gets us stopped early. It's just 8 seconds into the first period. The Ice Wolves have iced the puck. So back down we go near Jackson Fuller for the first time here tonight. The reigning North American Hockey League goaltender of the month. A .942 save percentage, 1.86 goals against average, 6-1 record in the month of February earned him the award. Wranglers are going to look to try and find a way to solve him here tonight. Face off to his left. Won by New Mexico. They're 2 for 2 to open play here tonight. As Bickler on the near wall, sidesteps for Sega. Has a man up ahead in Gibbons, who almost has his pocket picked by Rasega. Good effort there from 77 in white. As the Ice Wolves pound the puck down to Shepoister, who came out from behind his cage to play the puck. They battle for it there. New Mexico slithers up to the left point. Villiers tries to hold it in and does. Walks the line to shovel it to the near corner. Puck is poked behind the net where Pipanen gets a touch on it. Looking for the captain, Morley Phillips, on the far half wall. Boomerangs back to Pipanen, who gets some help from Satterdahl and Wellburn. And below his own goal line has the former wing up in the high slot of the Wranglers zone. But New Mexico's forecheck being very pesky here to open play, as from the red line, Rasega bangs it in on Fuller. What will be the Wranglers' first shot of the night, and really the first shot on either side here to open play this evening. New Mexico scrambles up ahead. It's Max Matthews, the returner, making his way to the red line. Wranglers bundle him up there. Slithering down the left wing is Nyam Pai as the puck squeaks its way towards Shepoister, who quickly fends it off. Ice will cycle to the left point where DeVilliers will wrap it around the boards behind the Wrangler cage. Pai looks to center. Ice will's got a stick on it as Earl was out in front. The Wranglers defense holds firm and is able to get the puck out to the neutral zone. William Larson on the forecheck for the Wranglers, playing in his 5th game in the North American Hockey League, will head towards the bench as the Boulanger line comes on. That line produced a goal in the win against Oklahoma on Saturday, as Mason Lupo got his first as a Wrangler. Former Wrangler Braden Lund tosses it to the far wall of the Wranglers zone as Amarillo will help it out to center. Ice Wolf swat it towards the near wall as Lupo's there for Amarillo, jockeying against Lund. Puck squeaks behind the Ice Wolves net as Fuller plays it. Boulanger gets a steal on the forecheck. Puck out in front. Wranglers trying to jam it in, but the puck squeaks back up to the line. And Wellburn can't hold it in. While on the run and on the back check, Wellburn and Boulanger make the stand. Dangerous play, but Wellburn atones for his mistake. Puck now goes to the near corner of the Wranglers zone. Mamanov able to help it to the alternate captain in Wellburn. Tried to free it from the zone, but pressure from the Ice Wolves. Osberg keeps it in. From behind the net, Wellburn tries to slide it along the far wall to Boulanger. Again, the Ice Wolves aggressive here in the forecheck to start play tonight. They keep it in the zone. Long shot, blocked by the Wranglers. Mamanov will lead it out to center as Osberg comes right back in. Long shot by Bickler off the blocker of Shepoister and over to the far wall. Once again, the Wranglers clear, but New Mexico not backing away. They come in on the right side. Osberg to the middle, away from Zach Zhang. Making his first appearance in this rivalry, coming over from Maine in a trade earlier in the year. Amarillo tries to get to work offensively. It's J.S. Pack, helps the puck in. Pack earlier in the week on Monday announced his commitment to Augsburg University. He'll glove it down in the neutral zone and leave it for Jacob Miller, one of 2 Wranglers who played in the play-in series between these 2 clubs last spring. New Mexico slaps it off the stick of Pack and down into the Wranglers' end. Whited will get it for the Wranglers. Locates Azadi up ahead, who bangs it off the far wall and onto the tape of Ethan Hall. The former 3HL Ice Wolf gets it to the Villiers. Snap shot blocked by the leg of Whited. Sprawl down a bit to make that block, and the Wranglers once again will fling it through center. No icing as we approach 4 minutes gone by here in the first. On the forecheck, Phillips looks to create a turnover. Matthews and company hangs on to it. They locate Earl on the far wing as he's able to glide it through center. As he was looking for Jake Casey, instead found Hayden Hedquist. They'll locate Tiernan O'Rourke, who re-enters the lineup here this weekend. Pye steals it away, looks to center for Gibbons. Defensive play by Hedquist breaks it up. From the line, a shot goes into the body of Satterdahl, and he springs Rasega into motion. Down the right wing, takes a check, and is bumped off the puck. That hit was thrown by Andre Moxvitin, who has a goal and 2 assists in his last 2 games, as the Ice Wolves ice the puck for the second time tonight, 4 minutes and 31 seconds in. Shaping up to be a physical and fast game so far here tonight. So we'll see a draw to the left of Jackson Fuller. Now make that the right. So in the near circle of the Ice Wolves zone, it'll be William Larson to take it against Andy Earl. Earl this season leads the Ice Wolves in goals with 18 and points in 33, and he's on a 5-game point streak. 6 goals and 2 assists in that span. And on a goal-scoring streak as well. 4 goals in his last 3. Wranglers will look to shut him down here tonight. As watch out for number 11 in black, as the Ice Wolves win the face-off and get out to the neutral zone. Toivo Loxonen from the right wing pops it into the blocker of Shepoister. Ice Wolves look to center from below the goal line, and the puck will escape the zone, as Sloan Farmer couldn't keep it alive. New Mexico dumps it down. Shepoister will play it to Pipinen. Welber on the right wing locates LaFrance. Fresh off of a goal and an assist in Saturday's win. He will dump it towards the near corner. Bickler gets there first for New Mexico, but turns it over below the goal line. Wranglers trying to get it as they snap it on goal. Shot is stopped by Fuller. Ice Wolves able to lead it through center, and a loose puck on the left wing. They skate into it for a shot. Save made by Shepoister on Liam Waugh. Awkward looking plays. The puck kind of floated through center, plopped down on the left wing, and Waugh was able to skate into it and take a shot. But with 14:35 left in the first period, Shepoister makes the stop, gets the freeze. And so for the Wranglers, on comes the line of Noah Wood, Jacob Miller, and Ty Azadi. Noah Wood re-enters the lineup. Dealt with an illness last weekend that held him out of the lineup in OKC. But due to the illness of Kirill Evshinev, that line of Rasega, Wood, and Azadi has still been broken up, as Rasega slides in on the line with Phillips. At the left point, De Villiers tries to walk the line, and nice pressure from Azadi forces New Mexico to regroup and reload, as De Villiers hacks it off the near wall for Osberg, who springs it forward looking for Zhang. He's able to tap it down to the corner. Puck goes behind the net to the far wall, where O'Rourke will slide it down the far wing and out to center ice. New Mexico will jolt it down to Shepoister. Once again behind his cage, slows the puck down. Miller on the left wing, floats it through the neutral zone, was looking for Azadi, but was just a tad off. And so it'll go as an icing against the Wranglers with 13:49 left in the first period. Well, I gotta tell you, they gotta get some ushers here at Outpost Ice Arenas, because people have just been walking back and forth right in front of me. And on that last shift, had some trouble seeing what was going on in the Wranglers zone. And his play was moving, and fans were just walking up and down the aisles. Wranglers win the defensive zone face-off. Ice Wolves get a turnover as a shot by Casey. Snapped up by Shepoister, but the puck is still free. New Mexico looks to center, and the Wranglers able to break it up, try and clear. Held in by Farmer in the initial attempt, as it's now skated out by Azadi. Wanted to hit Miller for a home run pass. Instead, the Ice Wolves take it away. Hull delays to Gibbons for a shot. It's blocked. On the back check, it's Mamanov. Making a big-time play for the Wranglers, and now skating forward is Lupo with Boulanger. Ice Wolves able to peel the puck away. As New Mexico will get out to center. Gibbons down the right wing, takes a shot. Blocker saved by Shepoister. It'll stay in the zone. Bickler can't grab a pass from point to point. And the Ice Wolves will elect to just punch it in from the neutral zone. Shepoister out to play it again. Finds Satterdahl, who locates Pipinen in the near corner. He'll swirl it up to Lupo, who is able to chop it out to center ice for Loxonen from the red line. Hurls it right back in. A lot of dump and chase action so far here tonight, as Pipinen plays it to the right wing for Pack. Long pass. He's got Phillips on the right wing. Tries to cut towards the net, but he is bodied off the puck by De Villiers. New Mexico skates up ahead as Pye stops out the right circle. From the wall, looks to go cross ice, and a nice active stick by Satterdahlin breaks up the cross ice feed. 12:10 left in the first period. There's a turnover as New Mexico was careless with the puck. Phillips was able to intercept it but couldn't get full possession. Now skating up ahead is Loxonen. Drops it back for Earl. Wranglers swipe it away, and here comes Phillips again. Bounces to the middle. He'll shoot from there, and a low line drive is gloved up by Fuller with 11:53 left in the first period. Scoreless affair here in New Mexico. 11:53 left in the first period. We're back in just a moment here on NATV and YouTube.
Work. It means getting up early and getting on the road. It takes commitment, perseverance, and grit. You always get the job done. That's why at UniFirst, we provide the uniforms and services you need to work harder, smarter, and safer. We always deliver. Because you always deliver.
Wranglers hockey is brought to you by Scottco. Gotta call Scottco. And Smoke Wagon Beard Balm, America's original 2-in-1 beard balm made locally in Amarillo, Texas. Face off to the left of Fuller. Wranglers have tested him 3 times tonight as the shot count is even at 3 apiece. Still a scoreless game, 11:53 left in the first period. Wranglers win the draw, shot by Pack, right into the glove of Fuller. So we'll get another face-off again to his left. And for J.S. Pack, still looking for his first goal as a Wrangler, playing on his 3rd team this season. Started the year with Springfield, made his way to Danbury, was acquired in a trade earlier in the season, right ahead of the trade deadline. Tyazati coming over from Danbury as well. And Pack, earlier in the week, again, committed to play NCAA Division III hockey at Augsburg. Wranglers are very pleased at the announcement and are very happy for JS. It's one of the biggest milestones a player can achieve in this league is committing to college hockey beyond his North American Hockey League career. Here's LaFrance on the far wall, leaving it for Larson. Up top, Whitey keeps the play alive, slips it down to the near corner looking for Olislov, who's being hounded by Farmer. Larson steps in to help out. Moves it from low to high. White at a shot. It's blocked by his own man in LaFrance. Tries to put it on goal and does. A bouncer goes right back into the glove of Fuller. And so we pause again with 11:26 left in the first. I think for the Wranglers, that's got to be the formula, right? Is just get pucks on goal. And I think the thing that's been missing so far here tonight, in about the first 9 minutes here in tonight's game, is a net front presence. If you're playing a goalie that's hot, yes, you want to get pucks on goal. But you also need to get that net front presence in, as it seems like these days, anything that Fuller sees, he's going to stop. Ice Wolves win the D-zone draw, get it out to center, but the Wranglers come right back in. White puts it on goal, stick save made by Fuller. Miller looks to center. It gets banked over to the near wall, and Miller from there will slide it down low to Wood. On the wraparound, hits the side of the net. Fuller might have got a piece of it, as Zhang is able to take the puck away for New Mexico. So 9 minutes gone by in the first period. Scoreless game, but the Wranglers have doubled up New Mexico on the shot count, 6-3. On the Wrangler goal line, Mamanov tries to pitch it out. It's held in by the Ice Wolves pressure. Pack from below the line, spars it over to the near side, and from the corner, they locate Miller. Plays it up ahead for Mamanov. Scrambles to the right wing, tries to split the defense, and almost ends up in the Ice Wolf bench. New Mexico on the takeaway. Lobs it back into Wrangler territory where Hedquist will outlet off the stick of Boulanger. And the Wranglers dump it down and look to get to work. Hayden Hedquist out there with Tiernan O'Rourke here tonight. Another former hat trick as New Mexico comes out of their own end. It's Matthews to Gibbons. Back towards the middle. Casey on the left wing has Hull below the circle, spinning away from O'Rourke. Having some trouble, though. He's able to swerve his way towards the near corner and dish it off to Gibbons. Romanov joins the fray. Gibbons able to escape. Gets it up top to the right point. Matthews creeping in. He holds and shoots and goes off the crossbar. Another shot from New Mexico into traffic. It's blocked by Hedquist. Ice Wolves left circle shot fought off by Shep Oyster. Ice Wolves still have possession As they look to pour it on, here's Gibbons down low, being checked by Hedquist. Trades it off to Hull. Back of the line, Matthews to the left wing for a shot, and it bounces out in front and goes wide of the goal. Play goes over to the far corner now, where Warwick tries to chip it out. Has Phillips on the right wing, who has Lupo in neutral ice, and the Wranglers get a much-needed change. So they're somehow able to survive that sequence. A little bit of help from the Iron. Pye comes down the right wing, goes beneath the circle for a backhand try. Easy stop for Shep Oyster, hugging the post. He freezes on the save with 9:07 left in the first period. Third game of the 4-game road trip for the Wranglers before they head back home next weekend to take on the Lone Star Brahmas for a 3-game set at the Budweiser bullpen. In fact, for the Wranglers coming here to Albuquerque, this is the last road venue that the Wranglers need to check off their list here this season. It's the only venue that the Wranglers had not been to so far this season. As it looks like they're going to review the play on the shot that went off the crossbar. I'm not sure if we're going to get a replay on that. Don't get to talk to the producers here in the building. But from my vantage point, it looked like it did hit iron, went on the bottom part of the crossbar and stayed out. I believe that's the play they're reviewing. I can't imagine that they're looking at any other play there, so they're going to bring out the iPad and look it over, which gives us a chance to mention our 3-man officiating crew here tonight, led by Mr. Stace. The linesmen are Hopkins, and I can't quite tell who the other one is from my vantage point, but once I know, I will let you know. And, of course, the 2 captains for both respective quads are trying to look it over, and, yeah, no goal. So we stay scoreless with 9:07 left in the first. So it'll be a face-off to the left of Shep Oyster on the near circle. And it was a good chance for New Mexico. I believe it was Matthews that was able to crawl his way to the right circle, take his time really, try and pick where he wanted to put that shot. And if you put it a couple inches lower, we're talking about a 1-0 New Mexico lead. But the Iron kind tonight for the Wranglers so far. As from the right wing, they're able to punch it out the center. Olislov looking to catch up, can't beat out Farmer. Larson also on the forecheck, tries to steal it away from Loxton in, but he's able to dish his way into the Wrangler zone for a shot by Mox Vitin that gets blocked. Puck rotates around to the near side wall. Loxton loses it to Pipinen. As Heikki Pipinen tries to spin away from Farmer, instead has to burrow his way deeper into his own end. And from his own end wall, feels some pressure. He's able to chip it to Wellburn in the far corner, who is playing phenomenal hockey as of late, especially on the offensive side. As Olislov from the right wing dumps it down deeper. Wellburn heads to the bench. More on him in a moment. As on for the Wranglers comes the Pack and Whited pairing. Wood on the forecheck, trying to create a turnover. Just about does it on the near side half wall. Spinning with Mox Vitin. Ice will somehow keep a hand on the puck as it's Farmer to Mox Vitin on that same wall. Cross ice feed. Makes its way to Pye, and he will slap it from there below the Wrangler goal line as the Ice Wolves get off for a change. Under 8 minutes left here in the first period. Stretch pass goes off the stick of Azadi. Scrambling to the end wall, gets there first, beating out Smith. Throwing a check in the vicinity is Miller as the Wranglers try and pry the puck away. They want to play it to Whited. Instead, Miller tries to slap it on goal. It's blocked by Smith, and the Ice Wolves get out to neutral ice. Bickler is met by a Wrangler at the line, and Hubbard almost throws Pack into his own bench. Out of all that, the Ice Wolves are offside. 7:35 left in the first period. Relatively low shot count here tonight so far. 6 for the Wranglers, 5 for the Ice Wolves. Again, these two teams haven't seen each other since about mid-January. As neutral zone face-off is won by New Mexico. And if I had to guess, don't get the official count, but if I had to guess, New Mexico has been the better team in the face-off circle so far tonight. As they work it to the line, but it goes astray from Smith. He's off the race all the way back down to his own end wall to catch up to it. Creeps out from behind Fuller, but has some trouble. Satterdahl in there, almost forces a turnover. Phillips moving in tandem as the puck goes back into the Wranglers' hands at the red line, and they fire it in from there. On the left wing, goes over the head of Satterdahl and onto the tape of Phillips. Low to high pass, picked off by Osberg. He's able to chip it up ahead to Waugh. On the right wing, Waugh on his backhand, looks to center, and breaking that up was Shepoister. Osberg was right out in front of the net. Now the puck leaps into the Wranglers bench with 6:46 left in the first period. We're headed to our second timeout of the period, as it is a scoreless affair here in Albuquerque. This is the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube.
When you know where you're going, you do what it takes to move forward. For me, that means money in the bank, saving cash. So this is my ride, my granddad's old truck.
Saving is cool again, especially with fantastic rates and free checking at A&B.
Thanks, Pop Pop.
No, it's it's me, the A&B guy. Amarillo National Bank. Amarillo before bank.
Wranglers Hockey is brought to you by Fiesta Foods, Amarillo's top Hispanic grocery store, and Next Gen Truck Parts, streamlining your trucking operations. Face-off will be to the right of Shepoister, who has been tested on the last couple of shifts, but has held firm, and he's been one of the big catalysts for the Wranglers' turnaround here this season. Amarillo went on a 10-game losing streak, and yet somehow still has a shot at the playoffs, and same thing for the Ice Wolves, although their streak ended up happening much earlier on in the season. And so, I guess crazier things have happened, but it looks like this season here in the South Division, we might have two teams that went on 10-game losing streaks make the postseason. As a quick shot off the draw makes its way to Shepoister. Wranglers off the save from their netminder. Look to get possession as it's a brawl for it on the near side wall. Ice Wolves mogging Pipenin in the near corner, trying to peel the puck away, but Pipenin holding firm, getting some help in that corner as Larson can't dig it away from Zhang. They'll go around the net towards the far wall, now sauce it down deeper. Back towards the near corner, Polumsky looks to center, and an optic stick from Oleslov is able to tap it out to center ice. Wranglers have possession back as Pipenin fields it deep in his own end, but again is immediately pressured. This time he's able to get out of it quickly and have Oleslov run it down the left wing for some dump and chase action. Wranglers get a line change behind the scenes. As on the forecheck, Oleslov gets a skate on it, battles in the far corner against de Villiers. Ice Wolves able to punch it over to the near corner as de Villiers and company get out to the neutral zone. Casey squirms his way down the right wing, works it to the end wall, jostling with Pack. The Wrangler holds firm. 5:30 left in the first period as the Wranglers lob it through center ice for an icing with 5:26 left in the opening frame. So far, no penalties, no goals, 6 shots apiece. It's an even score sheet so far here tonight. Not much on it. For the Wranglers here on out, every game is going to have a playoff-like atmosphere to it. Looks to be just about a sellout here at Outposts Ice Arenas. They packed this barn pretty well, although it only has about 1,000 seats. But the sound in this building really gets bottled up as driving towards the net was Earl. Shepoister is able to fend him off, and now after the play we get a whistle as the Wranglers tried to mob Earl. It looks like fresh Wranglers will hop off the bench. As coming on for Amarillo is that line of Wood, Miller, and Azadi. And the deep pairing is Welburn and Pipenin. And normally we see Welburn with Hedquist. Here tonight, paired up with Pipenin. As the Ice Wolves win the draw, Paya shot, blocker save, Shepoister. He punches it up to the high slot where Farmer keeps it in, but not for long. Wood and Miller work in tandem to create some pressure as the puck goes back down to the near corner of New Mexico's zone. Goes off the skate of Azadi and out through center. Loxton racing towards it, but Shepoister comes out to play it. He'll backhand sauce at the Pipenin, who goes cross ice looking for Welburn. Out of his reach, Earl has it. From the right wing, plays it down low. They'll center for a shot that's blocked. Loxton has to go back to Earl. Played up to the left point. Wranglers get a stick on it. Azadi's there to punch it into his own bench with 4:46 left in the first. And at times, It's looked like New Mexico has gotten some good sustained offensive pressure in the Wranglers zone, and at points it's made me do a double take and think, wait, is New Mexico on the power play? No, they've just done a really good job of cycling the puck around, creating some really dangerous chances. Wranglers need to find a way to put an end to that, and quickly. As it's still a scoreless game here, with under 5 minutes left in the first. Face off to the right of Shep Oyster. Taking it for New Mexico is Casey up against the captain Phillips, the Cortland commit. New Mexico wins another. Left wing Smith on the side of the circle. Flips it down low to Gibbons, who plays it back up high to the right point for Bickler. He'll glide it around towards the far corner for Casey. O'Rourke gets in front of it as Amarillo is able to jolt it out to center. Satterdahlin wants to play it back to O'Rourke, and Casey makes it difficult. Satterdahlin gets it back as he tries to feather it to the right wing for Phillips. Sega crashes in on the forecheck, but New Mexico has possession as Bickler gains the red line and pounds it in. Puck goes around to the far wall as Pack meets it, fending off Hull. Chips it up to Phillips, who wants to go wing to wing for Rasega. Rasega skates into it, punches it back down a little bit deeper as the Wranglers get a partial line change in with 3:56 left on the clock. Puck goes up into the air, just barely missing the low-hanging rafters. Settles down onto the stick of Satterdahlin, who moves it wing to wing for Whited. On the left side, he takes a check from Stanley Hubbard, but not before he delivers the puck to the New Mexico zone. Ice Wolves return the favor by pumping it through center ice, where Pack will have to go to his own end wall to retrieve. No icing. LaFrance, quick chip to Olislov, and he's on the move. From the right wing, the Swede dangles to the high slot, takes a shot, and it's blocked by Matthews. Rebound comes to the Ice Wolves, and here comes Liam Waugh. Flying down the left wing, look to center, looking for Lund, just out of his reach. Ice Wolves keep it in. From the line, De Villiers, the sidestep, feeds it to Matthews. Top of the right circle, peels away from Olislov, and sauces it down to the half wall for Waugh. Look to quickly center, Wranglers break it up and send it to the corner. Pass from low to high for New Mexico, escapes the zone, and Farmer will have to flutter it in from there. Piping and fields it. He's logged a lot of ice time so far here tonight. As from the left wing, jolts it off the wall looking for Mamanov, just a tad out of his reach. New Mexico comes barreling in. Piping in company, trying to hold firm. Mamanov working with Lupo as well. They're able to peel it away, and from the right wing, Boulanger lifts it to the near corner. Lupo comes crashing in, working against Farmer. From around the net, looks to center, jumbles to the slot. Boulanger's there. Puck squeaks over to the right wing, as the former general couldn't get a shot away. Mox feeds it, reels it on the right wing, spin move, beats Hedquist, looks to center as the puck goes behind the net. Angled onto the stick of Boulanger, Lupo taps it to O'Rourke. Comes barreling in for a low shot, kick save made by Fuller. Earl gains the red line, scrambles over Wrangler blue, keeps the puck for a shot that goes off the post! 1:55 left in the first period, and the Ice Wolves have hit the post twice so far tonight. As Loxonen drives towards the net for a shot, saves Shep Oyster. The rebound hacked over to the right wing. Bickler keeps it at the points. Angles it off the end wall to the left wing for Loxonen. Gets pinned up at the half wall by O'Rourke. Wranglers trying to get a touch on it. Azari tries to probe and get the puck away. Comes on goal to Shep Oyster. Makes a glove save with 1:30 left in the period. Well, Shep Oyster might need to give those posts a good hug or a good tap here in the first period, as it's a game of inches, and so far tonight New Mexico has hit the post or the crossbar twice here in the first period. And hitting the post or the crossbar doesn't count as a shot on goal, so right now the figure stands at 9-7 in favor for New Mexico in the shot count. Talk about the first period and what to expect in the second, as well as the playoff picture on the first intermission report presented by Amarillo National Bank, coming up at the end of the first period. Ice Wolves win another face-off, this time on the far circle. Nice check from Pack, pushes Hall off the puck, and the Wranglers are on the move. Rasega chips it down behind the net as New Mexico gets to it. They try and work their way out of their own end. Pressure from Satterdahlin, not enough. Rasega plugs it on goal to Fuller, who will shovel it to the near side wing for Gibbons. Stretch pass looking for Hall, broken up by the Wrangler defense. Under 1 minute left to go here in the first period. Matthews from the deep end. Slides it to Casey. He works a move over the line. Drop pass to Villiers. Centering feed into the air and behind the net. They'll work it up to the right point for Matthews, and he can't keep it in. Resega on the pressure. Wanted to catch up to the puck first, but Fuller comes out to play it as New Mexico retains possession. They'll turn it over, though, here in the neutral zone. Larson kicks it to Welburn. He'll hammer it off the end wall. Fuller slows it down. He'll heave it to the far wall as New Mexico tries to scramble out. They turn it over to LaFrance. Trying to dangle to the slot, but gets forced to the outside. Puck is chipped over to the far wall. Waugh can't get it out. Holding it in is Welburn. Comes back to Waugh. LaFrance fighting for it. Dive down, but he can't get possession as the puck is thrown out of play into the visitors' penalty box with 7.4 left on the clock. I really feel like, despite the Wranglers almost tied with the Ice Wolves in the shot count so far tonight, 9-8, feels like they really haven't tested Jackson Fuller all that much with some great eye chances here tonight. Most of these shots have been from the outside or dump-ins from center ice. But there is still time left on the board for the Wranglers to get maybe one more good chance in before the period ends. As it's Hubbard against Wood on the far circle. Ice Wolves win it. Puck goes to the end wall. Mox Vitum will just pin it up from there. And the first period comes to a close. Wranglers and Ice Wolves are scoreless through 20. Shot count ends up being 9-8 in favor of New Mexico. No penalties in the first period, no goals in the first period. Gonna have to talk about something here in the first intermission report. Good news is the playoff race is heating up a bunch as there's a lot of action going on here tonight in the South Division. Some critical games on the docket. We'll talk about those and what to expect in the second period here in Albuquerque when we return here on the Wranglers Hockey Network for the first intermission report presented by Amarillo National Bank. But before we do, we'll take a moment to step aside and hear a word from our local sponsors, as this is the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube.
Have a drink, catch the game, get yourself some awesome wings. It's the place to do your thing. You gotta get down to Hooters. Here she comes, a girl next door, hanging with good friends and more. Come on, what you waiting for? You gotta get down to Hooters. So get on up and get on down to Hooters.
Work. It means getting up early and getting on the road. It takes commitment, perseverance, and grit. You always get the job done. That's why at UniFirst, we provide the uniforms and services you need to work harder, smarter, and safer. We always deliver. Because you always deliver.
Your ordinary jobs deserve extraordinary quality. Skip the big box and save with FlexTech and Austin Hose. With crush-resistant fittings and superior resistance to abrasion, weather, ozone, and oil, FlexTech water hoses provide outstanding strength at a value that washes the competition away. And be sure to make those ordinary jobs that much easier with our vast selection of Quick Connect fittings. And now, take simplicity one step further with the Dixon Constant Flow Nozzle. Simply twist the nozzle head to adjust from a wide to long spray pattern to tackle any job. And it's internally sealed for easy installation, leak-free handling, and true water shutoff. Rated up to 300 PSI, FlexTech air hoses provide the durability and cost efficiency of PVC with a look and feel that simulates the flexibility of a traditional rubber hose. Pair your FlexTech air hose with the Milton blowgun, and even your toughest jobs are an absolute breeze. So when you're tired of the ordinary, put FlexTech to the test. Call Austin Hose today.
When you know where you're going, you do what it takes to move forward. For me, that means money in the bank. Saving cash. So this is my ride. My granddad's old truck.
Saving is cool again, especially with fantastic rates and free checking at A&B.
Thanks, Pop Pop.
No, it's it's me, the A&B guy. Amarillo National Bank. Amarillo before bank.
We want to help you thrive no matter what stage of life you're in. Your prescription for well-being starts at United Supermarkets, where your neighborhood pharmacists are here to give you the care you need when you need it. From expert consultation to personalized care and all your wellness essentials, and giving you your best shot at prevention with immunizations, we understand that every step towards health is a step towards happiness. So whether you're picking up or we're dropping off, we're here for you.
AMA Techtail is just first rate. We had a flood here last year. We don't have any internet, we don't have any phones, we have nothing. By the time I got from my house to downtown, AMA Techtail already had a crew of men there. I can't imagine doing business without AMA Techtail. They're that important.
Welcome back to Albuquerque, where through 20 minutes of play, not much. Scoreless affair between the Wranglers and the Ice Wolves as we bring you into the first intermission report presented by Amarillo National Bank. Well, no goals on the board on either side, no penalties on either side. It's about as big of a nothing sandwich as you can get. Not much to talk about here in the first period, but there are the nitty-gritty details, and so I guess we'll get to that. Shot count, 9-8 in favor of New Mexico, so, hey, one step in the right direction. We do have shots on the board as the Ice Wolves do outshoot the Wranglers by 1 here in the first period. And, you know, it's going to be interesting. We're going to have to keep an eye on that shot count here tonight as New Mexico and Amarillo both take about 31, 30 shots per game this season. And so both teams like to outshoot their opponent so far this season. And so for the Wranglers, who more often outshoot their opponent than they get outshot in such categories they have, or in such situations, I should say, they have a record of 12-10, 0-1. But New Mexico, when they outshoot their opponent, 18-14, 1-1. And so for the Ice Wolves this season, they've only been outshot by their opponent 14 times. And as we come down here the home stretch, that's not a bad figure for Kevin Hartzell's club. And for the Wranglers, I'm going to try and test Jackson Fuller a little bit more here in the second period and on here in Albuquerque. As it really felt in the first period that, yeah, the Wranglers got 8 shots on goal, but did they really test Fuller to their best capability? I don't think so. I felt like a lot of those shots came from the perimeter, either came from the neutral zone on dump-ins that technically get credited as a shot. I really felt like the Wranglers really didn't make Jackson Fuller work a whole lot there in the first period. And on the flip side, New Mexico with their 9 shots on the board, maybe not a high figure from New Mexico in the first period, like some might have expected, but Jeff Oyster was busy at times, and it really felt like New Mexico was at their best when they were able to keep possession in the Wrangler zone. And at times it looked like they had the Wranglers scrambling a little bit, kind of chasing the puck, and it really felt like at points in time it looked like New Mexico was on the power play, and some big save from Shep Oyster and a little help from the Iron kept us a scoreless affair through one period of play as the Ice Wolves end up hitting the post twice in the first period tonight, as the Wranglers might have caught a break there. As the first attempt, it was Matthews getting into the right circle and just clanking it off the crossbar, and the second attempt rang off the far post. And so for New Mexico, they rolled off the board the first period, and if you're the Wranglers, you'll take that all day, any day, as through one period of play, when tied after one, Wranglers do have a record of 4-6-0-1, but New Mexico, when tied after one, not too great of a figure either, 6-7, 2-2. So something's got to give here. The levy's got to break. We'll see who ends up on the winning side here tonight, as really wasn't a whole lot of really show-stopping action there in the first period. It was pretty quick-moving first period, a couple of icings here and there, but all in all, did get physical at times. We did see some big hits, but not really any of that after-the-whistle kind of stuff. It really was just pure hockey there in the first period. I mean, that's really the best way you can put it, is it was just hockey. A lot of dump and chase at times, except for the sustained pressure that the Ice Wolves had in the Wranglers zone. I'd like to see a lot more of that from the Wranglers here in the second period of play. I think that was one thing that New Mexico did on the defensive side of the first period, was they were able to make sure that the Wranglers didn't really get a whole lot of possession time in the Ice Wolves zone. Amarillo wasn't really able to set up the way they would have liked to there in the first period offensively. I think here in the second period, I think the Wranglers' approach might change in terms of how they want to set up in the Ice Wolves zone, because right now, not a whole lot going for the Wranglers offensively, and coming into tonight, it's suspected that this could end up being a low-scoring affair here between these two clubs with how well Shep Oyster and both Fuller the two netminders have been playing coming into tonight's game, but also because both of these teams have struggled to score so far this season. And for the Wranglers, they average 2.65 goals per game. Ice Wolves, 2.57. So both teams averaging under 3 goals for per game. You got two hot goalies. Go figure. You get a scoreless first period. So not really out of character for what I expected coming into tonight, but also looks like we've got a bit of a goaltending duel on our hands, although, like I said, Fuller really hasn't had to make any show-stopping saves so far here tonight. So the Wranglers will look to test him a little bit more in the second period. And hopefully for the Wranglers, they can get on the power play here in the middle frame, as Amarillo's power play has been rolling as of late. 4 power play goals in their last 3 games. Amarillo went 1 for 4 on Saturday. It's PPGs in 3 straight for the Wranglers. 4 in that span. Power play has been cooking, but Wranglers have not been able to put it to good use so far here tonight, as there were no penalties called in the first period. So we'll see if the game opens up a little bit here in the second period. The other thing to keep in mind before we go to our middle break here in the intermission is that, one, these two teams haven't seen each other since January, middle of January, so it's been about 2 months since these teams have last met, and the Wranglers are a much different team from then to now. We saw the Wranglers make a bunch of moves towards the trade deadline. It's almost an entirely new roster, and really talking things over with Jason Thomas, the voice of the Ice Wolves, when we go over the pronunciations and everything before the game, just to kind of do a run through of the rosters before the game. Even it stood out to him that this is not the same Wrangler team that played the Ice Wolves back at the bullpen in January. It's a much different squad. It's a squad that's been winning as of late. The Wranglers are 4-1. Or they were 5-5 in their last 10 games, and the Wranglers here are trying to make it 2 wins in a row, as Amarillo is 4-2 in its last 6 games. So you look at the Wranglers coming in tonight. They're trying to ride the vibes high here into Albuquerque, pick up 2 big standing points in their playoff chase. New Mexico, winners of their last 3. Also trying to stay ahead of the pack for 4th place in the South Division, which would give them home ice advantage in a play-in series here in this building. So there's a lot at stake for both clubs here tonight. We'll talk about what to expect in the second period and also take a look at that out-of-town scoreboard and that playoff picture as the first intermission report rolls on here from Albuquerque. As we'll step aside for a moment, it's the Ice Wolves nothing and the Wranglers nothing through 1 period of play here at Outposts Ice Arenas. We'll be back in just a moment after a word from our local sponsors.
Down to Hooters, have a drink, catch the game, get yourself some awesome wings. It's the place to do your thing. You gotta get down to Hooters. Here she comes, a girl next door, hanging with good friends and more. Come on, what you waiting for? You gotta get down to Hooters. So get on up and get on down to Hooters.
Work. It means getting up early and getting on the road. It takes commitment, perseverance, and grit. You always get the job done. That's why at UniFirst, we provide the uniforms and services you need to work harder, smarter, and safer. We always deliver. Because you always deliver.
Your ordinary jobs deserve extraordinary quality. Skip the big box and save with FlexTech and Austin Hose. With crush-resistant fittings and superior resistance to abrasion, weather, ozone, and oil, FlexTech water hoses provide outstanding strength at a value that washes the competition away. And be sure to make those ordinary jobs that much easier with our vast selection of Quick Connect fittings. And now, take simplicity one step further with the Dixon Constant Flow Nozzle. Simply twist the nozzle head to adjust from a wide to long spray pattern to tackle any job. And it's internally sealed for easy installation, leak-free handling, and true water shutoff. Rated up to 300 PSI, FlexTech air hoses provide the durability and cost efficiency of PVC with a look and feel that simulates the flexibility of a traditional rubber hose. Pair your FlexTech air hose with the Milton blow gun, and even your toughest jobs are an absolute breeze. So when you're tired of the ordinary, put FlexTech to the test. Call Austin Hose today.
When you know where you're going, you do what it takes to move forward. For me, that means money in the bank. saving cash. So this is my ride. My granddad's old truck.
Saving is cool again, especially with fantastic rates and free checking at A&B.
Thanks, Pop Pop.
No, it's it's me, the A&B guy. Amarillo National Bank. Amarillo before bank.
We want to help you thrive no matter what stage of life you're in. Your prescription for well-being starts at United Supermarkets, where your neighborhood pharmacists are here to give you the care you need when you need it. From expert consultation to personalized care and all your wellness essentials, and giving you your best shot at prevention with immunizations, we understand that every step towards health is a step towards happiness. So whether you're picking up or we're dropping off, we're here for you.
AMA Techtel is just first rate. We had a flood here last year. We don't have any internet, we don't have any phones, we have nothing. By the time I got from my house to downtown, AMA Techtel already had a crew of men there. I can't imagine doing business without AMA Techtel. They're that important.
Welcome back to New Mexico as we get set for second period action between the Wranglers and the Ice Wolves after a scoreless first period. 2 big points on the line. Let's take a peek at the out-of-town scoreboard and see what's going on around the South Division, as there's some big games on the docket here tonight that could impact the Wranglers' hunt for the playoffs. So we'll start over at Blazers Ice Center. Oklahoma Warriors hosting the El Paso Rhinos. El Paso's been on a bit of a slide as of late, and Oklahoma, just like Amarillo, trying to find their way back into the playoff picture. Oklahoma currently in last place, but they're only 1 point behind the Wranglers, who are in 8th. And it looks like right now Oklahoma has a 2-1 lead over El Paso at about the midway mark of the game. And remember, we are in the Mountain Time Zone here tonight in Albuquerque, so a lot of these games around the division will go final before ours does. So we'll have a little bit more clarity on the playoff picture at about the second intermission. But for now, looks like 2 goals from Kyle Sorensen has Oklahoma up by 1. Over at Ector County Coliseum, it's a big one. Lone Star Brahmas visiting the Odessa Jackalopes. Wranglers need some help from Lone Star as they try and push Odessa out of the playoff picture. Wranglers just 4 points behind the Jackalopes. We'll see Odessa for 3 later on in the month at the Jack Shack. And Lone Star, so far so good, 2-1 over the Jacks at about the midway point of that game. Got another guy scoring 2, Christo Pickenet with 2 goals for Lone Star, helping the Brahmas to a 1-goal lead at about the midway point of the second period. And over at American Bank Center, Corpus Christi Ice Rays hosting the Shreveport Mudbugs in a big matchup of the 2 and 3 seeds in the division as they go at it looking for a first round bye. First 2 teams in the division get a opening round bye, and it looks like Corpus Christi is on their way to getting themselves a bit of a boost over the Mudbugs, as Corpus Christi has a 2-0 lead through 1 period of play over the Shreveport Mudbugs. Goals from Reardon and Conway has Corpus Christi in front. And that is your out-of-town scoreboard in the South Division. If you want to look at the entire league scores, make sure you go to nahl.com or download the mobile app and check it out for yourself. So for the Wranglers, the Jackalopes losing right now is good for them. For Oklahoma and El Paso, I got to say it is good for the Wranglers that the Warriors are winning. Despite Oklahoma being behind the Wranglers, El Paso's been on a slide, and if El Paso falls out of playoff picture, that gives the chance for the Wranglers to come right back in and take their spot if they're able to drop out. So you know what, right now, I'd say things are looking pretty good on the out-of-town scoreboard, but first and foremost for the Wranglers, and this has been the motto through the locker room, really the motto around Amarillo, really around the Panhandle, is for the Wranglers, they need to find a way to take care of their own business first and foremost, or they're not going to make the playoffs. Wranglers need to continue to win and pick up points if they want a shot at the postseason. Tonight, big matchup here in Albuquerque. Wranglers trying to pull off the victory in enemy territory. Amarillo this season on the road has the same amount of wins that they do at home. Wranglers are 9-13-0-1 in this building. New Mexico has been at their best in Outposts Ice Arenas with a record of 13-9-1-1. As both squads are out there to start the second period, Wranglers wearing white jerseys with blue numbers and professional red trim will skate from left to right. Ice Wolves wearing black jerseys with yellow numbers and lettering with some red and turquoise mixed in. We'll skate from right to left here in the middle fray. Wranglers want to see if they can test Jackson Fuller a little bit more here in the second period as they try and break the ice. Still a scoreless game through 20 minutes of play. Can only imagine what the second period has in store. Happy to have you with us here on NATV or on YouTube and for wherever around the world you're watching to enjoy this exciting game here with me tonight. I'm Guy Chiarenza here at Outposts Ice Arenas as Cole Satterdahl will take the opening faceoff of the second period against Jake Casey. He wins it, and the Wranglers will have possession to open the second period. Bouncing puck goes to the Wrangler line. New Mexico creates a turnover. They look to center as a shot from Hull is blocked out in front. Ice Wolves swirl it over to the far wall where Casey looks to get to work. He's checked nicely by Pack, dislodging him from the puck, and the Wranglers grab it through the neutral zone. It's Lupo able to slam it down low. Puck rolls back up to the right point for Pack. They'll stash it down below the goal line for Phillips. Centering for Satterdahl, off balance, can't rip a shot off. New Mexico gets a touch on it, trying to attach it out of the zone, but the Wranglers are able to hem them in. New Wranglers come on as the Wood, Izzotti, it looks like Resega line is out there. Resega returned with his two laymates that lit the lamp multiple times against Oklahoma just a couple of weeks ago at the Budweiser bullpen. Wranglers come crashing in on the forecheck. New Mexico has the puck as Smith will send it all the way down for an icing on the Ice Wolves. 1 minute and 11 seconds into the second period. So interesting development there. So Ortega starts the night on a line with Phillips and Satterdahl. Looks like now he's been reunited with Wood and Izzotti. We'll see if that line can cook up some scoring for the Wranglers here tonight, as it is still a scoreless game at the top of the second period. Face off to the right of Jackson Fuller. On comes the line of Larson, LaFrance, and Olislov. On the far dot, Ice Wolves have control. They'll lift it to the blue line where it's held in by Pipinen. They'll plug it around towards the near wall. We're at the half wall. Pye will grab it and look to plug it up ahead to Casey. Wranglers are able to step in front of it and get possession. As off his own end wall, Pipinen leaves it for Welburn. Stretch pass, just a tad offline for LaFrance. Does get a stick on it though to negate an icing. De Villiers takes it in from behind his own net. Looking for a man on the right wing and sends the puck catapulting back out to center where the Wranglers elevate it to the near wing. Larson gets a tap on it, looking for LaFrance. Keeping it at the line is Boulanger. Pressure put on him by Earl with help from Hedquist. The Wranglers burrow the puck in deeper. On the right wing wall, New Mexico grabs it. Earl to the left wing looks for Pye. Boulanger cuts it off. He chucks it out to center where it lands onto the stick of LaFrance. He'll snap a shot from the high slot wide of Fuller. LaFrance has got the right idea, though, as he'll keep it in at the left point. Looking for help. LaFrance still finds a way to keep it in the zone. He's able to whack it down below the goal line. And fresh Wranglers come on. Big crunch on the near side boards. Miller checking Pye. As the game has been physical to this point, but not a lot of stuff after the whistle. Miller from the left wing fires it on goal for a blocker save down low by Fuller. Rebound comes to the Villiers, who waits behind the cage, looking for an avenue to break out. Has Hubbard on the left wing. He'll skate up ahead over the red line, flings it out of play. And so we'll stop time, just 10 seconds under 3 minutes gone by here in the second period. Faceoff will be to Shepoister's right. Looks like it brought it back out to the neutral zone, and the Ice Wolves win it from there. From the left wing, Whited able to squirm out to center. Might have a chance offensively as he finds Phillips down at the goal line. Captain looks to center, goes in and out of the slot and onto the tape of Hubbard. Cross-ice pass onto the tape of Waugh. He'll shoot from the right circle for a shot that's gobbled up by Shepoister with 16:47 left in the second period. Wranglers wanted to get a line change in, but it looks like they're not going to be able to. Again, our referee here tonight is Mr. Stace. Face-off will be on the far circle of the Wranglers zone. Satterdalen will take it. Came over from Aberdeen, and in 8 games prior to tonight, there's been a point per game for the Wranglers since the trade, as a snapshot off the face-off win from New Mexico lands into the glove of Shep Oyster. Chance there for Zach Zhang. Get another face-off here. It'll be Polumsky to take the face-off against Wood. Wranglers win this one from their own end wall. They'll work it up the far side wall. Plater comes tumbling down, and we get our first penalty of the night. I believe it's going to be a holding call, and it's going to go against Noah Wood. So the first penalty of the night goes against the Wranglers, and New Mexico heads to the power play. New Mexico's power play ranks dead last in the North American Hockey League, operating at 10.6%. That's 35th out of 35. Wrangler penalty kill operating at 76.7%. See if they can go 1 for 1 to start play here tonight. It's just a second under. 3.5 minutes gone by. The Wranglers head to the PK. Looks like elbowing was the call on Wood. So he's in the box, and the Ice Wolves are on the power play. Coming in on the left wing is Osberg, but he gets stuffed at the line. Miller able to box him out and plug the puck down for a Wrangler clear. And Miller quickly heads off as 30 seconds have already been shaved off the penalty. Farmer centers, looking for Hall, comes back to Farmer for a backhand shot. That goes over the cage. And the puck escapes the zone. Racing back forward is Osberg. Boulanger on the forecheck applies some pressure. Ice Wolves able to get out to center ice. Scrambling down the right wing is DeVilliers. Button hooks at the circle. Puck is poked away by Boulanger. He clears with just about a minute left on the Ice Wolf power play. It's DeVilliers. Over his own blue line. Now center red. Might have been tripped up by Miller, but that's okay as there's no penalty called. And the Wranglers are once again able to get out of the zone. And here comes Miller flying down the right wing. Might have a chance. Shot goes off the stick of DeVilliers and out of play. Miller had the right idea. He knew he had to shoot it. Otherwise, DeVilliers was going to catch up. And that's actually what ended up happening, is DeVilliers was able to get back just enough and reach out his stick to deflect the shot from Miller out of play. 43 seconds left on the penalty to Wood. Approaching 5 minutes gone by here in the second period. Face-off will be on the near circle to the left of Fuller. And off that face-off, the Ice Wolves have possession. Penalty killers right now for Amarillo: Olislov, Rasega, Pipinen, and Wellburn. 2 forwards, 2 D as Hubbard enters on the left side. Cross-ice feed goes to no one except for Pipinen. He gets pinned up on the far wall. Puck goes to the line, D to D. Smith left side shot, and out in front was Waugh trying to screen Shep Oyster, but he saw all of it to make the glove save. He freezes with 22 seconds left on the Ice Wolf power play. 4 new Wranglers come on, trying to hopefully finish out the penalty kill for a successful stop. It's Pack, Satterdalen, Miller, and Hedquist. Face-off on the near circle. Polumsky will take it against Satterdalen. Ice Wolves win it. They get it to the high slot. Swatting at it was Miller, but the puck stays in the zone. Polumsky drives it to the far wall. Work it up top for Farmer, and it's blocked by the Wranglers. Miller got a stick on it as the puck is chucked into the rafters. 7 seconds left on the man advantage. 5 minutes and 22 seconds gone by here in the second period. And once again, the Wranglers get a line change in. Faceoff will be in front of the New Mexico bench. Andy Earl will take it against Tyazati. Faceoff was won by the Wranglers cleanly to their own corner as Pack drives it out of play from there. Exactly 5.5 minutes into the second period. Pat trying to just send the puck barreling out of his own zone. Instead, it sailed up the glass and rode it all the way about to the red line and then ended up in the near side stands of the New Mexico zone. So it'll be a neutral zone face-off here as Larson's line comes out. He'll take it with the France to his right and Oleslov to his left. Larson still looking for his first point as a Wrangler, and I think he's due. I think tonight might be his night. Came over from Sweden earlier in the month, or I guess I should say earlier in the month of February. The point per game player over there for the last 2 years. And sometimes for these guys that come overseas, it takes them a little bit of time to adapt to this style of game. Rink is a lot smaller. Takes them some time to adjust, but about 5 or 6 games in is really when they seem to hit their stride. This is game 5 for Larson, as the Wranglers have the puck deep in their own end. They hit LaFrance at the red line, grabs it, comes down the left side, plays it across. Larson, tic-tac-toe to the goal, and a backhand shot by Oleslov is denied by Fuller. Well, what a series of passing from the Wranglers on that sequence. Starts from LaFrance, able to grind his way to the left wing, stop on a dime, play it wing to wing for Larson, who found Oleslov in tight, and Fuller makes his biggest stop of the night. Not sure if the replay caught all of that, but Oleslov out in front on the backhand. A stop by Fuller. Wranglers win the offensive zone draw, but Pat can't keep it in at the line. He'll elevate it deeper into the Ice Wolves zone, as it's some chip and chase action here for the Wranglers. New Mexico takes it in stride. It's Casey on the right wing, and oh man, come on. They're gonna draw a penalty here. And listen, I'm not the kind of guy that's gonna say that was a dive, but I think that was a little much. Lupo's gonna go to the box, and he has every reason to be a bit frustrated. Kind of felt like Casey just felt a stick towards his skates and kind of just leaped up over the red line to draw that penalty. But, you know, it is what it is, and the Wranglers will look to go 2 for 2 on the PK here tonight. So Lupo in the box. On the ensuing face-off, the Ice Wolves possess. Casey, circle to circle, as Hull on the left wing. They'll work it up top to Smith. Long shot into traffic, gets deflected, and ends up in the back of the nets. It's a power play goal for New Mexico, and Sean Gibbons breaks the tie. I think Gibbons might have been the last one to touch it out in front of the net. Let's see. New Mexico works it to the line. Smith, the initial shot. Pinball around, and just ends up in the back of the net. It looked like it got redirected off the stick of Gibbons, who was in the slot. And that's how it goes sometimes. New Mexico breaks the tie on a power play goal. And now the Wranglers look to tie it up here on the ensuing sequence. For those of you on NATV, you're going to get a better look at it there. Yep, just got deflected by Gibbons right between the circles. Ended up in the back of the net. With 13:42 left in the second period, New Mexico takes a 1-0 lead. For Gibbons, it is his 6th goal of the season. Now has points in 4 of his last 6, and in each of his last 2. New Mexico had not scored on the power play in their last 2 games. They end that drought. Going 1 for 2 so far here tonight. And we'll see how the Wranglers respond. And off the face-off, Hull takes a shot as the puck rolls back down into the New Mexico zone. Now Hull goes flying, and they're going after LaFrance. Hull has the puck off that wall, scrambles out to center.
That's another 15
Puck goes back down to the New Mexico zone. Hit a stretch pass, and on the run is Lund. Right side shot, save Shep Oyster. The former Wrangler is denied by Shep Oyster. Looking for his first career North American Hockey League goal. Not going to happen on that sequence. New Mexico keeps a hand on it on the right wing. Wranglers are able to force it out to center. Lund on the back check gets there and turns it over. LaFrance the trance, and it goes over the goal. Tried to just let it fly off the turnover. Ended up going high and wide. And here comes Resega on the left wing. On his forehand, goes around the net, keeping the puck. Moves it from low to high to Pack. D to D, long shot wide-ed, deflected out in front, but Fuller makes the stop. Wranglers keep possession. Good zone time here for Amarillo as Pack from the right point. Feeds it down low below the goal line. Looking for Azadi, glanced off of his stick. Wranglers keep possession, is at the left point, wide-ed, whiffs on a shot, and the puck escapes the zone. 8 minutes gone by here in the second period. Puck creeps in on Fuller. He'll pounce on it and freeze as we head to our first break of the middle frame. It's New Mexico 1 and Amarillo nothing. Sean Gibbons gets us started on the power play with the goal for New Mexico. We're back in 1 minute here on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube.
AMA Techtail is just first rate. We had a flood here last year. We don't have any internet. We don't have any phones. We have nothing. By the time I got from my house to downtown, AMA Techtail already had a crew of men there. I can't imagine doing business without AMA Techtail. They're that important.
Y'all, I finished the cereal yesterday, and today the box is full again. Same with the milk. Yesterday this was basically empty, and today it's full again too.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's wild.
Must be magic.
No lines, no waiting. Just quick and convenient grocery shopping. It's not magic, it's delivery from United Supermarkets.
New Mexico scores to break the tie on their second power play of the night. It took them just 16 seconds into the power play to do so. Wranglers trying to tie the game back up as O'Rourke fields the puck deep in his own end and almost turns it over to Polomsky. Puck came out in front. Amarillo was able to get it back. Phillips sends the puck soaring in on the right wing. On the forecheck, he's able to create a turnover. Wraparound chance denied by Fuller, who hugs the post. And New Mexico gets out the center off the stick of Loxonen. Wranglers pound it into the rafters, which are pretty low hanging, maybe lower than Blazers Ice Center, with 11:29 left in the second period. So officially on the New Mexico score, it's Gibbons from Smith and Hull that has opened the scoring for not just New Mexico, but for both sides tonight. Neutral zone face-off here. Miller will take it, Earl will win it. Matthews from his own blue line, flutters it up ahead, where it'll be fielded by Pipinen at his own blue line. Wranglers angle it off the near wall, trying to put Miller into motion. But New Mexico is able to keep possession and then turn it over on the far wall. Boulanger putting in some good work. Wranglers trying to get something going here in the offensive zone. Miller throws a big check on DeVilliers on the near wall. The Wranglers rattle the puck back in from the neutral zone. Pat keeps it in at the right point. Serves it to the right corner for Mamonov. Throws a check on DeVilliers. The puck tweaks to Miller on the far corner. Trades it off. Mamonov a shot through the slot and out the other side. Pat keeps it alive at the right point. Puck goes into the equipment of Earl, and looks like we've got a stoppage here with 10:41 left in the second period, and we got a penalty coming here against New Mexico. Andy Earl going to the box for the Ice Wolves. High sticking is the call, and the Wranglers tonight will head to their first power play of the game. So New Mexico's got 2 under their belt. They've already scored. Wranglers trying to tie the game here on their first power play chance. Wranglers have power play goals in 3 straight games, scoring 4 in that span. 1 for 4 in Oklahoma is between the circles. Resega backhand try. Save made by Fuller. Resega trying to keep the play alive, but Polomski's able to force it out to center. And he's got it on the right wing for a shot that goes wide of Shep Oyster. New Mexico being very aggressive here on the forecheck shorthanded, but they just now back away. First power play unit out there for the Wranglers. Resega in for Evshunev. As Satterdahl from the left wing plays it across for Phillips. And the pass was into his skate, couldn't get a shot away. From the goal line, he'll center for Larson. Fan on the first try. Second one is stopped by Fuller. Satterdahl holds it in at the left point. Plays it to the left circle for Larson. Puck gets caught up in his skates, and the Ice Wolves send it sailing down for a clear. And both teams will get a change in personnel as we're into the bottom minute of the Wrangler power play. It's Pipinen, Olislov, LaFrance, Welburn, and Miller to start the second sequence of the Wrangler power play. 40 seconds left on the man advantage. Olislov comes barreling in on the right side. Twist the puck around to the far wall where Pipinen pinches down to serve it down deeper. It's LaFrance, spinning like a turnstile, keeping the puck on his stick and returning it to Pipinen at the left point. D to D, Welburn has a man open below the circle, looking for Olislov. He's got him in the near corner. Relays it back to Welburn. Long shot gets deflected and almost pops into the goal. Ends up behind the cage. Olislov wraparound try. Stuffed by Fuller. 8 seconds left on the man advantage. Olislov looks to get it to Welburn. Instead, the puck goes down deeper to LaFrance. Shot from there into the pads of Fuller as he makes the stop in the final moment of the power play. Wranglers come up empty-handed, but have some good chances. 8:39 left in the second period. Shot count is 14-13 in favor of New Mexico. Noah Wood will take the face-off. Azadi to his right, Resega to his left. White and Whited are the deep pairing. Wranglers win the face-off. White has control at the right point. He'll wheel it around to the far side, and the puck will be sprung back out to neutral ice thanks to an active stick from Jake Casey. Wranglers come right back in on the stick of Azadi to the end wall. DeVilliers will catch up to it. Angle it off the near wall looking for Hall. Instead, it comes to White at the line. Able to sidestep Casey. Try and put it between the circles looking for Resega. Goes off a skate to the near wall. Ice Wolves will skate it up ahead as Matthews gains the red line. Beats it to the right side. Takes in a return pass for a shot. That's fought off by Shep Oyster. Meanwhile, we got some pushing and shoving going on behind the play as Azadi skates up ahead. Over the blue line, snaps a shot into the legs of DeVilliers. Has the rebound in the near corner. On his backhand, moves to his forehand and stashes it behind the cage. DeVilliers will hammer it along the near side wall out to Wrangler territory where Pack will grab it in the near corner. They'll swoop out to the left wing, button hook, and move it D to D for Pipinen. 7:35 left in the second period. Ice Wolves lead 1-0. Pipinen skates through center, leads it up ahead, where it's played by Fuller, and looks like he'll hang on to it. Behind, after the whistle, pushing and shoving for about the first time tonight after a stoppage in play. Loxton trying to go at it with Pipinen. Lupo in there as well, and Satterdahl exchanging for a few words with Andy Earl. That's Wranglers and Ice Wolves that we know. And we'll see more of it on the other side of the break. It's New Mexico 1 and Amarillo nothing, with 7:26 left in the second period. This is Wranglers Hockey on NATV and YouTube.
Have a drink, catch the game, get yourself some awesome wings. It's the place to do your thing. You gotta get down to Hooters. Here she comes, a girl next door, hanging with good friends and more. Come on, what you waiting for? You gotta get down to Hooters. So get on up and get on down to Hooters.
Wranglers have had some good chances here so far in the second period. They have outshot the Ice Wolves 7-5 here in the middle frame. The shot count is now tied at 15 apiece. However, it is New Mexico that leads 1-0 off of a power play goal from Sean Gibbons, his 5th of the year. And so we'll see if Amarillo, who has a offensive zone face-off incoming, Can tie the game on this next shift. Cast at the dot is Larson. With Hollis Love to his left and LaFrance to his right, the two blue liners are Welburn and Hedquist. Looks like they've been reunited here in the second period tonight. As New Mexico wins the face-off, Welburn keeps it in at the line. Deflection out in front on his long shot by Hollis Love is turned away by Fuller. One-timer from LaFrance goes screeching over the net, and New Mexico helps it out to center. They'll elevate it onto the stick of Welburn between the circles as they were looking for Pye. Puck squeaks to the high slot, and punching it away are the Wranglers. It's Larson on the move. Tried to dangle behind the defense. Couldn't knife his way between the circles, though, as he gets boxed off. Wranglers keep possession as LaFrance moves it to Welburn on the near wing. He'll roll it out the center. Bickler gets it. Tries to angle it to Loxton, but once again, the Wranglers were able to break it up from there. The finish forward from New Mexico jolts it over to the near corner. Wrangler gets upended there as the France springs back up to his feet. Loxton tries to knife his way to the net, but the Wranglers close in on him and steal the puck away. Larson makes the play as LaFrance skates forward. Toe drag shot, blocker save, Fuller. LaFrance will go to the bench. All the Wranglers' chances so far tonight have come off of his stick. Now afterwards, get a whistle with 6:17 left in the second period. And might be a delay of, or excuse me, too many men penalty on the Wranglers here. See what the official word is as Miller heads to the box for Amarillo. Either way, New Mexico will head to their third power play of the game. With 6:17 left in the second period. Face off to the right of Shepoister. Won by New Mexico. Mox feeds it, puts it on goal, saves Shepoister, the rebound to the slot, shot there, and Shepoister makes another stop. Gibbons from the right wing shoots, saves Shepoister, the puck is loose, and skating into his Satterdahlin, and he's able to flip it out the center for a clear. Tripping is the call on Miller. So it was in the vicinity of the Wranglers bench as Mox Featon comes in on the right side. Wranglers able to rub him off the puck, play the puck through center ice for another clear. 40 seconds gone by on the Ice Wolf power play. As Casey will start things from his own blue line. Bounces to the outside, tries to cut towards the middle. From the right wing, Casey meets the end wall. Welburn there making a defensive play. The puck squeaks up top to Farmer. Shot from there, goes off a stick and wide, and Welburn will mail it down for a Wrangler clear. Amarillo getting a couple of fresh men on as Resega hops over the boards for Boulanger. Bickler over the red line, and now Wrangler blue. Gets swarmed by Welburn on the near wing. Hedquist has the puck behind the net. He's able to bang it down for another Wrangler clear with 35 seconds left on the penalty to Miller. From the near corner, bodies come together. Resega emerges from the pile. Tries to trade it off to Hedquist. Almost a turnover there as Earl was in the vicinity. Ice Wolves able to peel it away as Loxonen from the left wing moves it for low to high to Bickler. Back to Loxonen from the circle. Back up top to Bickler. He'll walk the line, drifting towards his right. Plays it to his left for a shot. Save, rebound, cleared by the Wranglers. That's just about do it for the penalty. Wranglers are able to come away with their second successful penalty kill of the night. They're 2 for 3 here with 4:11 left in the second period. It remains a 1-0 New Mexico lead. Lupo from the neutral zone collides with Osberg. Puck pinballs across the red line, and the Wranglers will hammer it toward the near corner. De Villiers snatches it for New Mexico as he will waffle it through neutral ice and on the way down for an icing. Shot count even at 17 apiece. The lone difference maker so far here tonight. A redirection on the power play from Sean Gibbons as the Ice Wolves up by 1. And some good chances for New Mexico on that power play. Shepoister, a couple of sensational saves. Now we see an offensive zone draw for the Wranglers with the Noah Wood line out there on this next shift. White and Whited are the two blue liners. Looks like Wood is tossed in favor of Azadi, and Polomsky will win the faceoff. Wood gets in a tangle in the near corner, tried to move it up top to White and does. They'll return it to the corner for Azadi. Getting help from Rasega, puck is swindled away by Bickler. They'll swerve to the right wing, puck glances off a stick on the outlet pass. Wranglers keep the puck in the zone. I believe it was a delayed offside. Zhang down the left wing, takes a check from White but hangs onto the puck. Centering feed goes in and out of the slot and onto the tape of Rasega. Gets tripped up in the neutral zone. Wranglers want a call. Not going to get it. Smith dishes it to the left side for Polomsky. Over the attacking line, pops it over the goal line to the end wall. White, it's there for the Wranglers, leaving it for Anthony White. White had an assist in the 4-3 win on Saturday. The puck stays in the Wranglers zone as the Ice Wolves are able to bottle them up at their own blue line. 2:50 left in the second period. Here's White again from the near corner on his forehand. The former hat trick and aviator will slide it through center ice. No icing as Olislov makes a nice play on the forecheck. Shot from the left wing, stopped by Fuller. Bodies collide as Hubbard is dumped down by Larson. Puck available at the Ice Wolf blue line. The Wranglers will blast it in deeper from there. Wellburn keeps it in at the line from the right point. Puck bounces up into the air and onto the stick of LaFrance. More bodies collide in the area of the puck, which now makes its way to the near corner. Behind the net, Boulanger's got it. Feeds it to the left wing looking for Hedquist, but the puck, like a hot potato, leaped over his stick, and the Wranglers have to regroup at center ice. LaFrance, who's having a heck of a game so far, lifts it down deeper. Puck spits out to the right wing. LaFrance tried to dish it to Miller, and the Ice Wolves from there are able to clear, although we do have a whistle with 1:51 left in the second. And I believe it's because the puck went out of play for a brief moment, so with 1:51 left in the second, we'll see an offensive zone faceoff for the Wranglers. And on comes Morley Phillips, the latest college commitment for the Wranglers, going to SUNY Cortland. Future Red Dragon will take this faceoff with Lupo to his left and Satterdahl to his right. Pack and Pipinen are the two defensemen. Ice Wolves win the faceoff, and they've been the better of the two teams in the faceoff circle so far this evening. They're able to get it out of their own end, but Lupo will retrieve in the neutral zone. Locate Pack, who moves from wing to wing. On the left side, is able to filter it down where Fuller come out of his crease to play it. Quick touch pass to KC, lobs it up ahead for Hall, and he had trouble reeling it in as he works his way to the near corner. From there, the Ice Wolves shoot for a kick save made by Shepweister. They'll center, and out in front was Casey, just escaped his grasp. Held in at the line by Farmer, who's to the left side for a shot that's kicked away. On the rebound, Phillips skates through center ice, glides in for a shot into the glove of Fuller. And with 1 minute left in the second period, the Ice Wolves netminder makes his 19th save of the night. On NATV, here's that latest chance for the Ice Wolves. Just a quick swoop around the net, centering feed, and Casey was there, but they can't connect on the pass. And then up next was Phillips for his try. That might have gone over the net if Fuller didn't get a glove on it, but does make the glove save, and so faceoff will be to his left, and the Ice Wolves win that. De Villiers now from the left wing, elevates it to the neutral zone over the glove of Wood, where Wellburn can whack it to number 12 in white. Leaves it for Azadi on the move. Snap shot blocked by De Villiers. Azadi tries to claim his own rebound behind the net. Is able to deliver it to Rasega. Rasega filters it to the slot. Shot was blocked, and New Mexico has it 2-on-2 the other way. It's Pye to the right wing for Loxonen. Shot is blocked. Rebound is pushed to the near wall by the Wranglers. They find Azadi up ahead, but he's offside with 24.7 left in the middle frame. Coming up next here on the Wranglers Hockey Network after the conclusion of the second period is the second intermission report presented by Amarillo National Bank. We'll recap the first two periods, look ahead to period 3, and also take a peek at the out-of-town scoreboard where some scores around the division will have gone final as we are in the Mountain Time Zone here tonight. All that coming up next on the Wranglers Hockey Network for the second intermission report. They're going to take this faceoff all the way back down to the Wranglers zone. It's going to be to the right of Shep Oyster. Looks like Larson will take it. Ice Wolves win the faceoff. Smith from the left wing plugs it off a stick and over the goal. Puck simmers down on the near corner. We're piping in. Will loft it out of his own end and into Ice Wolf territory. Smith has the puck, bangs it off the far wall with 10 seconds to go. Looking for Osberg at the red line. Puck ping-pongs around there. Oleslov gains the attacking line, tries to slap it on goal, but the horn sounds for the end of the second period, and we end the middle frame with the Ice Wolves up by 1. Through 2 periods of play here in New Mexico, it's New Mexico 1 and Amarillo nothing. Shot count reads 18-17 in favor of the Ice Wolves. Wranglers hoping for a big third period here in the land of enchantment as they try and find a way to tie this game up and get a big 2 standing points here on the road. We'll talk all about it and what to expect in the third, and also take a peek at the playoff picture, which should have a bit more clarity with some scores have gone final in the South Division when we come back on the second intermission report presented by Amarillo National Bank. Once again, through 2 periods of play, it's the Ice Wolves 1 and the Wranglers nothing. We're back after a moment to take a word from our local sponsors. This is the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube.
Have a drink, catch the game, get yourself some awesome wings. It's the place to do your thing. You gotta get down to Hooters. Here she comes, a girl next door, hanging with good friends and more. Come on, what you waiting for? You gotta get down to Hooters. So get on up and get on down to Hooters.
Work. It means getting up early and getting on the road. It takes commitment, perseverance, and grit. You always get the job done. That's why at UniFirst, we provide the uniforms and services you need to work harder, smarter, and safer. We always deliver. Because you always deliver.
Your ordinary jobs deserve extraordinary quality. Skip the big box and save with FlexTech and Austin Hose. With crush-resistant fittings and superior resistance to abrasion, weather, ozone, and oil, FlexTech water hoses provide outstanding strength at a value that washes the competition away. And be sure to make those ordinary jobs that much easier with our vast selection of Quick Connect fittings. And now, take simplicity one step further with the Dixon Constant Flow Nozzle. Simply twist the nozzle head to adjust from a wide to long spray pattern to tackle any job. And it's internally sealed for easy installation, leak-free handling, and true water shutoff. Rated up to 300 PSI, FlexTech air hoses provide the durability and cost efficiency of PVC with a look and feel that simulates the flexibility of a traditional rubber hose. Pair your FlexTech air hose with the Milton blow gun, and even your toughest jobs are an absolute breeze. So when you're tired of the ordinary, put FlexTech to the test. Call Austin Hose today.
When you know where you're going, you do what it takes to move forward. For me, that means money in the bank, saving cash. So this is my ride, my granddad's old truck.
Saving is cool again, especially with fantastic rates and free checking at A&B.
Thanks, Pop Pop.
No, it's it's me, the A&B guy. Amarillo National Bank. Amarillo before bank.
We want to help you thrive no matter what stage of life you're in. Your prescription for well-being starts at United Supermarkets, where your neighborhood pharmacists are here to give you the care you need when you need it. From expert consultation to personalized care and all your wellness essentials, and giving you your best shot at prevention with immunizations, we understand that every step towards health is a step towards happiness. So whether you're picking up or we're dropping off, we're here for you.
AMA Techtail is just first rate. We had a flood here last year. We don't have any internet. We don't have any phones. We have nothing. By the time I got from my house to downtown. AMA Techtail already had a crew of men there. I can't imagine doing business without AMA Techtail. They're that important.
After 2 periods of play here in New Mexico, it is the home squad with a 1-0 lead as the Ice Wolves have the game's only goal through 40 minutes of play as they lead the Wranglers 1-0. As we bring you into the second intermission report presented by Amarillo National Bank here at Outposts Ice Arenas in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Right up against the mountain range here in town. Good to see some mountains here on the road trip as it is the Wranglers' first visit to Outpost Ice Arenas this season. It's the first of 2 games, and then the Wranglers don't come back here this season. Just a 4-game season series between these 2 clubs. Ice Wolves have won the previous 2 as the Wranglers are 0-1-1 against New Mexico entering play tonight. And they're hoping to turn that around with a win here tonight, but they're going to need a big third period to do it. Not really a whole lot on the stat sheet from the first period as we get into our game recap so far. No goals in the first, no penalties in the first. Ice Wolves with a shot count 9-8 after the first. It really felt like the Wranglers hadn't really tested Jackson Fuller all that much in the first period. Ice Wolves do hit the post twice in the opening frame, but out of all that, still ends up being scoreless. And so to the second period we go, looking for a little bit more. We do get a little bit more in the second period. Not a lot, but we do get a little as start to see some penalties get called here in the second period. And it starts with a holding call against Noah Wood just about 3.5 minutes into the second period, where the Wranglers able to come up with the successful penalty kill. So they hold New Mexico off the board. Keep in mind, New Mexico's power play dead last in the league, operating at about 10%. Wranglers go out there, put together a really good penalty kill, keep it a scoreless game. Then afterwards, I'm going to say about 2 minutes later, 2.5 minutes later, Mason Lubo gets called for a tripping penalty, and I'm not the kind of guy that usually disagrees with the call on the ice. I usually give the benefit of the doubt to the officials down at ice level. They're closer than we are. They see it better than we do. They're also trained better than me, and, you know, but it really felt like that call could have been called tripping and embellishment. I really felt like there was a pretty good leap there from, I believe it was Casey, who got tripped up on that call and sends the Ice Wolves to the power play. And unfortunately for the Wranglers, New Mexico does score on that power play, and that's what gives us the 1-0 score through 40. As on the man advantage, the Ice Wolves able to work the puck around a little bit, and at the left point, Smith kind of drifts towards his right, just flings it into traffic. It's a play we've seen millions of times before, and it just kind of ping-pongs around off the stick of Gibbons and into the back of the net. So New Mexico ends up taking a 1-0 lead on that play, and there's not really much Shep Oyster could have done about it. Those pinball pucks, very tough to track, and it looked like he was moving from right to left, the puck going the other direction. Squeaks by, and New Mexico takes a 1-0 lead on Gibbons. Power play goal, which ends up being his 6th goal of the season and his 2nd power play goal of the year. So that is your goal, your only goal, through 40 minutes of play. Had a couple more penalties called in the second period. After going 1 for 2 on the PK, Wranglers finally get a crack at it on the man advantage. With 10:41 left in the second period, unable to make anything happen on it though. Good puck movement, some good chances, but they couldn't beat Fuller. And they end up going 1 for 1 on the power play so far tonight. New Mexico gets another crack at it on the man advantage with 6:17 left in the second period. Wranglers are able to kill that off, and so to this point, the Wranglers are 2 for 3 on the penalty kill and 0 for 1 on the power play as special teams have started to play a factor here into tonight's game. So a combined 4 penalties in the second period, 3 against the Wranglers and 1 against the Ice Wolves. And we'll see if play continues to open up here in the third period. But for the Wranglers, they're going to need a big period, and they're going to need to start providing a little bit more offense. I feel like Shep Oyster has done his part so far here tonight, as he has stopped 17 of 18 shots so far. Jackson Fuller has stopped 17 of 17, although while the Wranglers did do a better job of getting chances on goal, I really feel like they haven't really made Fuller work all too hard tonight. Again, I think they're on the right track. I think they did a lot better in the second period. They got Fuller moving around a little bit. I think they need to get a net front presence out in front of the net. I think it's going to be Jacob Miller out in front of the net. That's the first one that comes to mind. I think Alice Love can do that for the Wranglers as well. You just need a big body to go out in front. Maybe it's Noah Wood. Maybe it's Maxim Mamanov, who's 6'3", 195 pounds. Someone's going to have to get out in front and really make life difficult for Jackson Fuller, because these conventional shots, it's just not working for the Wranglers right now. And similar to the way the Ice Wolves scored in the second period, I think if we see the Wranglers get on the board here in the third, might be something similar. You just have to get traffic out in front, keep putting the puck on goal, which the Wranglers did a good job of in the second period. But all in all, I really feel like the Wranglers need to find a way to make life difficult for Fuller. You run into a hot goalie like this, the reigning goalie of the month in the entire league. Can't make it easy on him. And you know his defense is going to be helping him out. Ice Wolves done a good job of really trying to separate the Wranglers from the puck so far here in tonight's game. Wranglers had a much better run at it in terms of offensive zone time in the second period, but that has to improve in the third period as the Wranglers look to tie the game here in the third period of play. Wranglers came from behind after trailing after 2 periods in Oklahoma City on Saturday night. That was just the second time the Wranglers have come behind and won when trailing after 2. They'll look to do it for the third time here tonight, trailing by 1 through 2 periods of play, as New Mexico, when leading after 2 periods of play this season, has a record of 17-0. The Ice Wolves are perfect when leading after 2. So there's your announcer's jinx for the night. Ice Wolves are perfect when leading after 2. Even brought out the lucky dog in the pregame show. They claim it's their lucky dog. Wranglers hoping to make sure that tonight their string of good luck ends. Speaking of St. Patrick's Day, we got a couple of good promos coming up at the Budweiser Bullpen when the Wranglers return home next weekend. We'll talk about that when we return on the second intermission report. We'll also take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard and the playoff picture here on a busy night in the North American Hockey League. We're back in just a moment here on the Wranglers Hockey Network. It's the Ice Wolves 1 and the Wranglers nothing through 2 periods of play. This is the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube.
Down to Hooters, have a drink, catch the game, get yourself some awesome wings. It's the place to do your thing. You gotta get down to Hooters. Here she comes, a girl next door, hanging with good friends and more. Come on, what you waiting for? You gotta get down to Hooters. So get on up and get on down to Hooters.
Work. It means getting up early and getting on the road. It takes commitment, perseverance, and grit. You always get the job done. That's why at UniFirst, we provide the uniforms and services you need to work harder, smarter, and safer. We always deliver. Because you always deliver.
Your ordinary jobs deserve extraordinary quality. Skip the big box and save with FlexTech and Austin Hose. With crush-resistant fittings and superior resistance to abrasion, weather, ozone, and oil, FlexTech water hoses provide outstanding strength at a value that washes the competition away. And be sure to make those ordinary jobs that much easier with our vast selection of Quick Connect fittings. And now, take simplicity one step further with the Dixon Constant Flow Nozzle. Simply twist the nozzle head to adjust from a wide to long spray pattern to tackle any job. And it's internally sealed for easy installation, leak-free handling, and true water shutoff. Rated up to 300 PSI, FlexTech air hoses provide the durability and cost efficiency of PVC with a look and feel that simulates the flexibility of a traditional rubber hose. Pair your FlexTech air hose with the Milton blowgun, and even your toughest jobs are an absolute breeze. So when you're tired of the ordinary, put FlexTech to the test. Call Austin Hose today.
When you know where you're going, you do what it takes to move forward. For me, that means money in the bank, saving cash. So this is my ride, my granddad's old truck.
Saving is cool again, especially with fantastic rates and free checking at A&B.
Thanks, Pop Pop.
No, it's it's me, the A&B guy. Amarillo National Bank. Amarillo before bank.
We want to help you thrive no matter what stage of life you're in. Your prescription for well-being starts at United Supermarkets, where your neighborhood pharmacists are here to give you the care you need when you need it. From expert consultation to personalized care and all your wellness essentials, and giving you your best shot at prevention with immunizations. We understand that every step towards health is a step towards happiness. So whether you're picking up or we're dropping off, we're here for you.
AMA Techtail is just first rate. We had a flood here last year. We don't have any internet, we don't have any phones, we have nothing. By the time I got from my house to downtown, AMA Techtail already had a crew of men there. I can't imagine doing business without AMA Techtail. They're that important.
Welcome back to Albuquerque, to Outposts Ice Arenas, where through 2 periods of play, the Ice Wolves have a 1-0 lead by the slimmest of margins, as we approach the 3rd period of play here in the land of enchantment. Well, take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard here. I thought some games would have gone final by now, but it looks like we're moving a bit quicker than I anticipated, as we were just about a half an hour ahead of some of the other games around the division being in the Mountain Time Zone here. So with that, checking out some live scores from around the league. Over at Blazers Ice Center, the Oklahoma Warriors are tied with the El Paso Rhinos. About midway through the 3rd period, Wranglers probably rooting for Oklahoma to win here tonight, as El Paso, if they continue to slide down the standings, could open up a playoff spot for the Wranglers to creep into. That game 2-2 with 10:50 and counting left in the 3rd. Over at Ector County Coliseum, Lone Star still hanging on to a 1-goal lead. This time the score is 3-2. With 8:23 and counting left in the 3rd period, Wranglers need the Brahmas to win in regulation as Amarillo looks to catch up to Odessa in the standings. And over at American Bank Center, Corpus Christi and Shreveport going at it. As towards the end of the 2nd period with 2:30 to go, Ice Rays have a 2-1 lead over the Mudbugs with goals from Reardon and Conway. Lone Mudbug goal coming from Seth Murch. And so right now, things are in the Wranglers' favor, aside from that Oklahoma-El Paso score. But, again, the talk around the town is that you'd like to get some help from the teams around the division. Beat teams like Colorado, Odessa, and now El Paso. But the Wranglers have to take care of business first and foremost on their own hands. And this weekend's big, but next weekend's going to be even bigger. So make sure you're at the Budweiser Bullpen on the 14th, 15th, and 16th of March. We got some excellent promos coming up on the docket. So first and foremost, on Friday, it is 55 and free night. So all you senior citizens, and no disrespect, no offense to those of you who are 55 and don't quite consider yourself a senior, take it as a positive. All right, if you're at 55 and older, you get in for free. Just show your ID at the box office and enjoy some Wranglers and Brahmas action. On the 15th, on the Saturday, it is hockey and hot rods night, as there'll be a lot of cool cars on the concourse, and that'll be the final day that the Wranglers wear their specialty jerseys that weekend. Reveal coming up next weekend. For the Wranglers, the theme is what is old is new again, so I think a lot of fans are really going to like it. That'll be the 14th and 15th. The Wranglers will wear those. Jersey auction after the game on Saturday. And on the 16th, we're hosting a St. Patrick's Day celebration over at the Amarillo Ice Ranch on the Sunday game, as that game will have a 3 o'clock start time. So from 12 to 2, come hang out over at the Amarillo Ice Ranch. Get your skating legs on. Enjoy some green beers and all that. Lots of family fun there over at the bullpen, or at the Ice Ranch, before we head over to the bullpen, and the Wranglers and the Brahmas round out the weekend with the Sunday game. So that is on the docket for next weekend as the Wranglers finish up the road trip here in New Mexico. Big 3rd period coming up next as the Wranglers wearing white jerseys with blue numbers and professional red trim will skate from right to left. The Ice Wolves wearing black jerseys with yellow numbers and some red and turquoise mixed in. They'll skate from left to right here in the 3rd period as the Wranglers try and rally back to tie the game, only down by 1. That'll do it for the 2nd intermission report presented by Amarillo National Bank. An exciting 3rd period awaits in Albuquerque. Wranglers need to find a way to solve Jackson Fuller, and they're not the only team that has been snake bitten by number 31 in black, reigning goaltender of the month for the entire league. Looking to be on his way to a shutout, but trying to get the announcer's jinx in here as the Wranglers look to escape tonight with 2 points in their back pocket. Opening face-off of the 3rd period will be Satterdalen against Casey. As The Wranglers look to make some noise here in enemy territory. Casey wins the opening draw of the third period, and New Mexico looks to get to work. They try and slip it by Pack along the left wing. Wranglers defenseman makes a stand, as poking it out the center is Lupo. And he comes barreling in on the right side, fends off Smith, and gets a hand on the puck. Plays it from low to high. Pack D-to-D, piping in left point, shot deflected out in front of the net by Phillips, but gobbled up by Fuller. And that's the right idea for the Wranglers. I think if they're going to come away with a victory here tonight, that's the key. That's the ticket right there. Puck's on net. Players out in front of Fuller. That's what you got to do if you're going to beat number 31 in black. Good news for the Wranglers is they have third period goals in 9 straight games. As of late, the third period has been the Wranglers' best period, as the France will take the near side face-off. And off that face-off, we get a whistle 25 seconds in. So it looks like we're going to get a do-over here. Fans still filing in here to start the third period. Guess Usher's not on the agenda here at Outpost Ice Arenas. Fans just seem to get up and walk up and down the aisles as play is going on. So if I missed something, I do apologize. It's LaFrance to take the face-off up against Loxodon, and the Ice Wolf the victor. And that is one thing that New Mexico has done really well here tonight, is win face-offs. Wranglers need to be better at that here in the third. As the Earl trots his way to the Wrangler goal line, tied up with Pipinen. Puck rolls to Shepboister, who freezes 38 seconds in to the third period. So again, you think back to the Wranglers' third period goals in 9 straight games. You get 2 in the comeback win in Oklahoma. So again, you really can't count the Wranglers out at any juncture, especially this one. As looks like Earl is tossed out of the dot for Loxodon, who will take the face-off against Larson. On the near circle of the Wrangler zone, the Swede has won it, and Welburn will slide it down the right wing looking for LaFrance. Just a tad out of his reach. Ice Wolves will bombard the puck in from the far wall. In the opposite corner, Wranglers wheel and deal over to the right wing where Oleslov takes it in stride. Right side shot, sticked away by Fuller. Oleslov tries to grab the rebound and exchange it with Larson. The two Swedes are fended off by DeVilliers. Hit Matthews on the left wing, returner for New Mexico, played in that play-in series in the spring of 2024. They drive it in and head towards the bench. Puck slips over to the near corner where Loxodon works it from low to high. Farmer a shot, kick, save, Shepboister, and the Wranglers punch it out to center ice as Farmer can't keep it in. Ice Wolves fling it out of play. Just a second under, a minute and a half into the third. So a stop and go start here to the final frame of regulation. As on steps the Wood, Izadi, and Rasega line. Noah Wood missed last weekend. Good to see him back in the lineup. Neutral zone faceoff won by New Mexico. They pelt it into the backside of Rasega on the dump in. Wranglers try and take it and head up ice. Puck is over the blue line. Izadi's grabbed it, tried to leave it for Wood, but two Ice Wolves sandwiched him there, and they dislodge the puck and go up ice. Fox Featon's long shot blocked by Wood, pummeled through the neutral zone. No icing, as snatching it is Farmer. Rasega on the forecheck, swindles the puck away. Pass from the left wing, goes over the blue line, and O'Rourke will have to rumble back into his zone end to field the puck. Leave it for his former hat-trick teammate Pack, now reunited here in Amarillo. Pack will dump it down, and the Ice Wolves will get something started here offensively. As Braden Lund climbs on in, down the right wing. Shepboister behind the cage will play the puck over to the right wing for Phillips. I'll leave it for Anthony White, another former hat-trick, weaving his way towards the middle. White drop pass, Saturday on the shot, deflection, and the rebound just escaped the stick of White on the kick save from Fuller. And now we've got a whistle, and we stop play with 17:26 left in the third. As the puck went out of play. Gonna face off on the far circle of the Ice Wolf zone. So back out comes Larson, Hedquist and Welburn on the blue line. And Welburn has really been racking up the points offensively as of late. 1 goal and 5 assists in his last 5. It'd be crazy if he did that in his last 2, but he has 2 assists in his last game on Saturday. Playing some great hockey defensively and offensively as the Ice Wolves drive the puck down in. And keep it in at the line. Bickler swats it below the goal line. Welburn out there to retrieve for the Wranglers. Slips it up ahead to LaFrance, who gets boxed out in the neutral zone. And here's a miscommunication, almost a turnover here as the Ice Wolves center. Hull between the legs, and sprawling out to make the save is Shep Oyster. Too much dangling from Hull, and is out in front of the net. He took in a pass from the near corner. Shep Oyster sprawled out like a starfish, able to get just enough of it. The puck goes down to play on the ensuing sequence. Face off to the right of Shep Oyster. France will take the face off against Casey. And LaFrance is the victor. Chips it to Welburn, who locates Hedquist on the left wing. Hayden Hedquist, who's been a +5 over his last 5, gets it out to center ice as the Wranglers try and find a way to work their way through this New Mexico defense. They'll deliver the puck below the goal line. New Mexico rolls it over to the near wing as Gibbons pounds it into the Wrangler zone and heads to the bench. 3.5 minutes gone by here in the third. Long pass from Pack, just away from Azadi. It's an icing on the Wranglers with 16:25 left in the third. I'm not quite sure how that puck stayed out of the net on the chance from Hull. Shep Oyster did just enough, took away the angle. And I think if Hull just shoots that puck on his backhand instead of trying to dangle between the legs, that's a goal for New Mexico. Instead, it remains a 1-0 game. Farmer creeps his way down the right wing of a face-off victory. Is stuffed by Welburn, and the Wranglers charge up ice. Noah Wood over the red line, tattoos it from corner to corner. From the right wing, Wranglers get it to the goal line. The puck springs back up to the right point where Pack will hold and shoot. And the shot goes wide of Fuller. Ice Wolves lead it out to center. Rasega comes screeching right back in. Has Azadi, left wing, wing to wing for Miller. He'll reel it in, grind his way to the half wall, play it up top for a shot by Pack. That's steered away by Fuller. Rebound, came to Pipin, who is pinching down. He's got it between the circles. He'll meander his way back up to the line for a shot. Save made by Fuller. Pipin almost had him fooled as Fuller is moving from right to left. Behind the play, Azadi gets dumped down as the Ice Wolves skate the puck out of their own end. Pack will retrieve it in the deep end of his territory. With Pipinen, they'll locate Boulanger in the neutral zone as he chucks it into attacking territory. Hedquist pinching, tries to keep the puck in as the Ice Wolves look to clear. New Mexico able to squirm their way out to center as Miller throws a massive hit on Johansson. Puck jumps over to the far wall. Ice Wolves keep it in. They'll swat it between the circles. Pass is intercepted by Hedquist. High alert play as he lobs it out to center ice. Boulanger over the red line. Will flick it down to Fuller, who comes out of his crease to play the puck. Leaves it for Smith. On the forecheck was Satterdahl and almost wreaking havoc. A little over 5 minutes gone by in the third period. Wranglers lead the shot count 22-19. Wranglers come into the attacking zone. Satterdahl from the left circle sees the puck roll off of his stick. Ice Wolves were able to zip it through center ice, which will end up being an icing on New Mexico with 14:26 left in the third. Wranglers here in the third period have done a good job of putting pucks on Fuller. 5-1. The Wranglers have outshot New Mexico here in the final frame of regulation. Amarillo doing all the right things as on comes the Larson line. France to his right, Olislov to his left. Whited and White are the D pairing. Looks like the Wranglers coming into tonight trying to mix up their defense pairings. Instead, just reverted back to what we saw in Oklahoma City on Saturday. Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Face off on the near circle. Larson will take it, and Hubbard will win it. Ice Wolves float it through center ice. Osberg can't reel it in. And on the left wing, Olislav gets a stick on it to negate an icing. And, oh, hang on a minute. They do blow the whistle. And it might actually end up being an icing. And it is. Very delayed icing call from our three-man officiating crew, but back down we go to Wrangler territory, and we'll see a face-off to the right of Shepoyster. Larson will take it up against Braden Lund. While Lund played for the Wranglers earlier in the season, those two were never teammates. Larson the victor. Puck on the loose below the goal line. White's got a hand on it. He's able to flip it away from pressure to LaFrance on the far wing. Has White in the high slot of his own zone, and here he comes. High slot shot into the glove of Fuller, who freezes. And afterwards, they want a piece of White as two Ice Wolves have him tangled up on the far half wall. The main Ice Wolf in there is Max Matthews, and that should be no surprise, as Matthews is the Ice Wolves leader in penalty minutes with 177 on the season. And as White goes to the box, Matthews won't join him. So the Ice Wolves will go back to the power play for the fourth time tonight as Anthony White takes a seat. Tough time to take a penalty. New Mexico is 1 for 3 on the power play so far, which means the Wranglers are 2 for 3 on the penalty kill, as slashing is the call on White. Ice Wolves win the ensuing faceoff. Shot from the point is blocked. Wranglers steer it out the center. Ice Wolves have to reset here as they'll come in on the left wing. Hull on the drop pass is bottled up by Miller, who has Satterdahl moving shorthanded. High IQ play there from the former wing as he will chuck it deeper into his zone end to shave off more time. Piping in there to grab it and snap it down the length of the ice to shave off more time. That being 35 seconds to this point. Smith has an open man on the left wing in Bickler. He'll drive it in from there. Shepoyster comes out to play it. He'll paddle it to the near side wall where Boulanger will skate it out. 2-on-2 shorthanded. Phillips, left wing shot wide of the goal. But onto the tape of Boulanger. And another smart play from the Wranglers. The former general will pin it up against the wall, shaving off more time. Wranglers have already killed off a minute here on the penalty kill. And fans aren't too happy about this play, but the gritty work from Boulanger has killed off a lot of time. About 15 seconds, now about 20 seconds here from Boulanger. And he continues to just pin it up. Puck tries to ride up the boards towards the direction of center ice, and they can't rip it away from Boulanger. What a play! And he gets high sticked, and the referee sees it. Delayed penalty on the Ice Wolves. They touch up, and with 31 seconds left on the penalty to White, we'll go to 4-on-4 action with 12:23 left in the third. What a play! What a shift from Jake Boulanger. And Smith goes to the box. Fans unhappy, but what a gritty shift, gritty hockey play from Boulanger. Draws the penalty, kills off probably 45 seconds of penalty time. And now we hit the 4-on-4 action. Looks like the official call was cross-checking. The way Boulanger kind of touched his face led me to believe that it was going to be a high sticking call. I guess can't really call it a high stick as Boulanger was on the ground, but nonetheless, Wranglers go to a 4-on-4 here, and at the end of that, we'll have 1 minute and 29 seconds of power play time. Perfect opportunity to tie the game and take the lead. Wranglers win the faceoff, piping in a shot, eaten up by Fuller, and frozen.
2 minutes for cross-checking. Time to penalty 7:37 of the second period, third period. In the penalty box in that case, it was a 4-1 mechanism.
Face-off on the near circle. Larson will take it for the Wranglers. The 4 out there for Amarillo. Larson, Resega, Pack, and Satterdahlin. Amarillo going with 3 forwards here and 1 defenseman. And Pack, that lone defenseman, has gotten off the face-off victory. Has Resega on the right circle. Gets pinned up against the boards by DeVilliers, but is able to chip it to Larson. Behind the back pass, collected by Pack and held in the zone. From the right point, Youngsburg commit, locates Resega. They'll trade it off as Pack bombs it on goal for a glove save by Fuller. 3 seconds left on the 4-on-4, and then out of the box will come White, and the Wranglers will get to work on the power play. But so far, there's a lot to like from the Wranglers on the sequences here on the 4-on-4. Able to work the puck around, and Larson was trying to do a flyby out in front of Fuller, trying to take away his vision. Really good shift there from Amarillo, and it looks like those guys are going to stay out there on the next sequence. And got a delay here, and looks like there's a glass issue on the far corner of the Ice Wolves zone. One of the stanchions is being held up by some rubber. Looks like the rubber has started to peel off in that corner. So it puts a pin in the game right now with 11:55 left in the 3rd period. And unfortunately for the Wranglers, hopefully this does not slow their momentum, as they've really been playing their best hockey as the 3rd period has gone on. But this stoppage, which who knows how long this could be, could end up taking the wind out of the Wranglers' sails. So we'll see how this impacts both squads. But again, this is a glass issue. It's more only with the stanchion than anything else. You get a good look at the parking lot here on NATV. Looks like it's snowing outside. Go figure. Snow shower here in Albuquerque. A new snow is on the forecast for tomorrow night. Didn't think it was going to come into play tonight, but the weather as the Wranglers rode into town at about noon local time ended up getting worse as the day went on. Wind started to howl, got a little bit colder, sky a little bit darker, and then you get the snow. So out they go. Now they got the crew out there to work on the stanchion. See what they got going on here. They might just end up peeling that off and trying to roll it back in, or I guess slide it back in. And yeah, they're going to remove the stanchion and probably try and get that rubber back into place. But to this point, just 1 goal on the score sheet. Came back in the 2nd period. Ice Wolves were on the power play. Sean Gibbons deflected a shot from Sean Smith for the score on the man advantage. And so I guess it's Sean to Sean. And into the back of the net. Going to remove the pane of glass in the far corner. Trying to reapply those bits of rubber. I don't know a whole lot about glass. Don't know a whole lot about ice. But you know who do? You know who does? Our friends over at the Amarillo Ice Ranch. The coolest place in town. You want to go skate? They got it. You want to play hockey? They got that too. Figure skating? Yep, they can do that as well. Drop in, stick and puck, breakfast club, you name it, they got it. Head over to AmarilloIceRanch.com for the weekly schedule. And here we go. We got it back into place. It's not too long of a delay, just a couple of minutes here. And so we'll see if this impacts the Wranglers' momentum at this point in the game. Only down by 1, trying to tie things up here. In 3 seconds, they'll head to the power play. And it looks like they're anticipating that with Resega, Larson, Pack, and Satterdahlin as the group for the Wranglers on the ice right now, and Phillips is sitting on the bench. And now with the penalty over to White, he climbs on. Power play 1 out for the Wranglers as they look to tie it up on an abbreviated man advantage. Sean Smith in the box for a cross check on Jake Boulanger. Wranglers in the neutral zone look to take flight. Pack over the red line. Gets boxed up by Farmer, but is able to put the puck on goal, or Fuller will freeze. So 1:11 remains on the Wrangler power play. Face up on the far circle, and this power play is impacted a little bit here with the loss of Kirill Evshunev, who would normally be out there. Rasega taking his place here on the power play. And Rasega will apply some pressure on the forecheck after a face-off loss. Wranglers digging at it as Bickler pins it up in the near corner. Amarillo able to plunder it away. Phillips from low to high has Pack. On the right point, moves it D to D. Saturdon to the right circle. Rasega shoots and just misses high and wide. Wranglers keep the puck in the zone. On the near corner, it's Phillips. The captain twisting and turning, loses it for a moment, but grinds to get it back. Saturdon make that Larson moving in tandem, and the Ice Wolves are able to pick it free and clear. Hall skates through center ice shorthanded. Deeking down the right wing, gets closed in on by Packing Company. And with under 30 seconds left on the power play, Amarillo is able to work their way up ice. Polumsky shuts it down at the red line. Loose puck onto the tape of Johansson. From the left wing, he flutters it off the end wall. Now just 15 seconds left on the Wrangler power play. And a gassed group on the power play 1 unit goes off to the bench. Stalls the Wrangler power play, as it looks like they're going to come up empty-handed here for the second time tonight. Out of the box is Smith. Back to 5-on-5 we go. Left wing shot in and out of the glove of Shepboister. That coming from the stick of Casey. Hedquist has it behind the cage, tries to fend off Casey. He's able to hand it off to Miller, who jolts it off the near side wall looking for Boulanger. Puck leaps up into the air as Gibbons and Miller battle for it. Miller is able to catapult it into the Ice Wolves end, where Fuller plays it to Matthews. Over the red line, he slides it down. Shepboister comes out to play it from behind the net, locates a man in the near corner in Hedquist, and Boulanger chips it out to center ice. Gibbons looks to go wing to wing, pass is picked off by Boulanger. New Mexico keeps it, Mox Feet in a shot, save made by Shepboister. So Boulanger picks off the pass, tried to clear the zone. Mox Feeton kept it in, got the shot on goal, and Shepboister able to make the stop on that sequence. And with 9:35 left in the third period, it remains a 1-0 Ice Wolf lead. We're back in 30 seconds here in Albuquerque to find out how this one ends, as it's the Ice Wolves 1 and the Wranglers 0.
Have a drink, catch the game, get yourself some awesome wings. It's the place to do your thing. You gotta get down to Hooters. Here she comes, a girl next door, hanging with good friends and more. Come on, what you waiting for? You gotta get down to Hooters. So get on up and get on down to Hooters.
It's grind time for the Wranglers. In crunch time, they are at their best, and especially in close games. Wranglers seem to be at their best when the going gets tough, and in tight games like this one. In one-goal games, the Wranglers are 9-3-1-3 this season, 6-1-0-1 in such instances on the road. As a face-off is won by New Mexico in Amarillo's zone, they put it on goal to Shepboister, who makes the stop and is able to pounce on the rebound as well to get a whistle. And afterwards, everybody coming together. Morley Phillips in the middle of it, jostling with Mox Vitin, but shot from about the goal line beneath the left circle. Works its way on Shepboister. It's able to fight it off and grab the loose rebound as well that just sat at the top of the crease. So we'll get another face-off to his right. I am Pye. We'll take the face-off against Noah Wood. And Wood wins it. Zadi on the right wing. Chips it to the neutral zone. Ice Wolves return the favor by casting it in from there. Shepboister plays it, leaves it for Piping in. He'll gather some speed and pitch it to the left wing for Rasega. He'll knife his way to the slot. Puck is poked off of his stick for a long try. Puck at the top of the crease, and Azadi can't punch it in. From the right circle, Rasega spits it off the outside of the net. Rebound comes to Earl. Off the near wall, it goes to Piping in. He'll get some help from Pack to possess. 8:45 left in the third period. Ice Wolves lead 1-0. Rasega rattles it off the end wall. The Ice Wolves get it to the right point as White keeps it in. Bickler now tries to throw a reverse hit on Larson, but ends up turning the puck over. The Swede maneuvers in the near corner, up top to Whiting. From the left point, dishes it from high to low to Oleslov. Overskated the puck a little bit, New Mexico, twisted to the high slot where it's regained by Larson. Active stick by Gibbons, pokes it off of his stick, and the Wranglers will have to regroup in their own end. Larson to the bench. Oleslov takes in a pass on the left wing. He'll wire it around, looking to go around the boards. Ice Wolves cut it off. Get out to center ice where Hall takes a big check from Miller, and he's really been throwing his weight around tonight. Welburn slides it up to Oleslov on the left wing. Chips it to LaFrance, who goes in hot pursuit of it. Gets there first, beating out Matthews. And the Ice Wolves are able to weasel the puck away. Matthews leaves it for DeVilliers on the near corner. They'll go cross ice to Matthews and back to the near side, looking for Polumsky. Out of his reach comes to Shep Oyster, who tries to rip it out of his own end. Held in by Matthews at the right point. Well, puck actually escaped the zone, so it's an offside on New Mexico. And that play was in my blind spot, so Eagle Eye linesman is able to make the call. Neutral zone faceoff coming here. Satterdahl will take it with Lupo to his left and Phillips to his right. Welburn and Hedquist are the two defensemen. Hayden Hedquist had an assist in Saturday's game in Oklahoma. +5 over his last 5. Now Phillips will take this face-off as Satterdahl is tossed. Polumsky is the opposition at the dot. Wranglers win the face-off. Hedquist D-to-D for Welburn. Rolling it up ahead. Satterdahl gets a stick on it, but the Ice Wolves turn up ice. Left side shot from Waugh. Stick saves Shep Oyster. Waugh wanted to go 5-hole. Wranglers netminder had other ideas. Centering feed from below the goal line. Stopped point blank by Shep Oyster. They'll locate Lupo on the left wing. And the first goal in Saturday's game in Oklahoma. Ice Wolves pounded off the end wall where Hedquist grabs possession for the Wranglers. Lupo knocks it off the near wall, looking to spring Satterdahl into motion. Instead, upwards goes Polumsky. He'll center, pie, puck at his skates, bounces to the near corner. Cycles to the high slot, has an open man for a shot, save Shep Oyster! And a delayed penalty here. Wranglers touch up, slashing's the call with 6:34 left in the third. And who's it going to be? Looks like they're going to get Lupo. And so the 5th penalty of the night against the Wranglers sends Lupo to the box. And the Ice Wolves are going to the power play for the 5th time. With 6:34 left in regulation. Wranglers have to find a way to get a kill on this sequence. See the penalty killers to start are. It's Boulanger, Pipenin, Miller, and Pack. That's the quartet to start the PK for the Wranglers. Now it looks like Azadi going to the box along with Lupo, and I believe that is probably due to a 10-minute misconduct to Lupo. He was barking at the officials. Wouldn't be surprised if that cost him the rest of regulation. And Azadi's going to serve the 2-minute slashing sentence. We're going to get official clarification here in a moment, but have to assume that that's what the situation is. On NATV, looks like we're going to get a bit of a replay here. Not much can be deduced out of that. The Wranglers to the penalty kill for the 5th time tonight. To this point, they are 3 for 4. And, oh, wait, no, never mind. Looks like it is a penalty on the bench. So Azadi serving a bench minor. It's a 5-on-3 for the Ice Wolves. and piping in, able to break up a centering feed, chucks it through center ice. So now things look a little bit more bleak for the Wranglers. Not a situation you want to be in, and it's against the coach. Corey Wojtek has been tossed from the game. Ice Wolves center, Wranglers clear again. Interesting development here in New Mexico. Can't say I've seen that before. We saw former assistant coach Connor White get tossed at the showcase. That was the last time I've seen a coach get ejected. As the Ice Wolves come barreling to the goal, save Shep Boyster, and on the rebound they score. Fan was walking in front of me right during the play. Can't tell you how it happened. New Mexico takes a 2-0 lead. Guess we'll get to watch the replay together on NATV. Let's see. It ends up being a power play goal for New Mexico on the 5-on-3. And yeah, Shep Boyster makes the initial save. Andy Earl out in front. Might be Loxton that ends up getting the goal, and it is. So Earl did the heavy lifting, drove towards the net. Shep Boyster made the initial save on him. Rebound went directly onto the stick of Loxton, and he pots it for the insurance goal on the 5-on-3 man advantage. And I was about to say, that's a tough time to take a bench minor. The Wranglers were clearly upset with the call on Lupo, but tempers flared. Ice Wolves now 2 for 6 on the power play, and now they still have 1 minute and 15 seconds left to continue to get to work and try and add to their lead. So Loxton gets the goal. They haven't added any assists, but I have to assume that at some point throughout the course of the ninth, they'll look it over and see that Andy Earl got an assist. And now the Wranglers are down by 2. Two power play goals for New Mexico has them up by 2. They'll center it out in front, broken up by Pack. They're looking for Farmer, who's in the blue paint. Now it's a 5-on-4 for New Mexico. Hull up top to Mox Featon. Long shot deflected wide. Rebound comes to Hull on the near half wall. Moves it up top to Farmer. Drifting towards his left, he shoots. Snagged out of the air by the glove of Shep Boyster. No rebound. 45 seconds left on the New Mexico power play. Faceoff will be to the right of Shep Boyster. Ice Wolves win the ensuing faceoff. Smith to Pye. Down the wing, they throw it back up top. Bickler reels it in at the right point. Cross ice feed, locks it in. Fans on the one-timer. Ice Wolves keep the play alive. Back to Bickler, he'll shoot. Saves Shep Boyster with 5:02 to go. 28 seconds left on the penalty to, I guess it's the Wranglers bench, being served by Azadi, which ends up being against the Wranglers head coach Corey Wojtek. So he will watch the remainder of the game with the rest of you, probably somewhere in the locker room, as the Wranglers try and mount the comeback here. 5 minutes left in the third. Tie up off the ensuing face-off. Bickler has it at the right point. Moves it to the half wall, locks it in. Up high, long shot Smith, off the back of Welburn. And the Wranglers are able to swat it into their own bench for another stoppage with 15 seconds left on the penalty to the bench. Face off to the right of Shep Boyster. Satterdon will take it. Shot count is 25-27 in favor of New Mexico. Ice Wolves have it off the face-off victory. They put it on goal, and on the rebound, Earl scores. It's another power play goal for New Mexico. That makes it 3. They now lead it 3-0. So, that might be the dagger, as New Mexico has 3 power play goals tonight. First on a 5-on-4, then a 5-on-3, and now back to 5-on-4. You can't blame Shep Oyster on really any of these. He makes the initial save on the rebound. Comes to Andy Earl. Out in front of the net, he's able to backhand it in. And New Mexico now leads by 3. With under 5 minutes to go, tall task for the Wranglers to come back as Earl notches his 19th of the season to lead New Mexico. Olislov through the neutral zone to White on the right wing. LaFrance down low, shoots, save made. And on the rebound, the Wranglers overskate the puck. White throws a big check at the red line. He dumps down an Ice Wolf there. He's hitting the deck with Zach Zhang. Wranglers look to center from the near corner. Ice will skate it free as Polomsky goes up, and that's a dirty shot. LaFrance is checked from Waugh, and hopefully he's going to be okay. That was close to blindside. Liam Waugh is going to get a penalty for that. Ice Wolves with control of the game, 4-on-4 left. Get a good look at it here on the replay as, LaFrance just was looking the other way as the puck carrier is on the opposite wing, and he just gets decked by Waugh. I don't think there's any way he saw him. Good news for LaFrance is back up to his feet. Made his way to the bench. And the Wranglers will go out there on the power play. So New Mexico's 3rd penalty of the night goes against Liam Waugh.
Ice Wolves penalty number 29, Liam Waugh. 2 minutes for interference.
Interference is the call. Ice Wolves get an opening clear. Rasega will take flight over the red line into Ice Wolf territory. Lays it up to the right point for Pack. Has some open space. He'll let it fly over the net. Rebound comes to Larson. Puck swats over to the near side wall where Satterdon will try and spin away from Polomsky. Has a man down low at the high slot. Pack juggles it. Plays it over to Satterdon at the left point. From the circle, he shoots. It's blocked. The rebound comes to Rasega. On his forehand. Goes up the wall. Gives it to Pack. Shuffles it across to Satterdon. Back the other way, Rasega. To Pack. Up top, he shoots. Deflection wide. Phillips was there for the Wranglers. Pack at the right point. Slides it across the line. Satterdon again. Back to Pack. Right wing, Rasega one-timer. Save made by Fuller. 1:02 left on the Wrangler power play. 3:06 left in the 3rd. Face off on the far circle. LaFrance wins it, piping in, across for Wellburn. A screecher goes into the glove of Fuller. They're trying everything they can, but just can't find a way to solve Jackson Fuller to this point. It's another glove save for 31 in black. And the Wranglers will pull the goaltender, Shep Oyster. Assistant coach Ryan Seavey now giving the directions from behind the bench, as Walktek was ejected, leading to the Ice Wolves' 2nd power play goal of the night. And so it's a 6-on-5 with the net empty. Lupo will take the face-off. Puck goes careening into the near corner. Bodies jumble together there. Amarillo digging at it. Gets it to the left point for Wellburn, and he can't keep it in. Has to come back out to the neutral zone. Quickly is able to evade a haul who's chomping at the bit to get to the empty net. Meanwhile, the France centers across. Olislov can't tap it in on the one-timer. Puck on the loose on the far corner. LaFrance able to snatch it, gets wedged off the puck by Farmer. Ice will see the net empty. They'll look and try for it. It's blocked by Miller and stays in the zone. Lupo, right wing with space, shoots, save, rebound is stopped by the right pad of Fuller. Piping it to LaFrance on the left wing. Back up to the point, piping it across. Wellburn shoots, save made by the glove of Fuller. 8 seconds left on the Wrangler power play. So, excuse me, it was actually a 6-on-4 for the Wranglers with the net empty. And out of all that, a couple glove saves from Jackson Fuller. Mix that in with a few pad saves. Still remains a 3-0 Ice Wolf lead. So Wranglers trying to do everything they can, get fresh men on. Phillips will take the faceoff on the far circle. Draw is won by New Mexico, and they've done a good job at that tonight. Behind the net, puck squeaks over to Saturdon, who's pinching down, and we get a penalty here. Holding is the call, as the penalty on Waugh expires. Looks like the Wranglers are going to stay on the power play. As Damon Bickler goes. And that will stay empty for the Wranglers. Looks like the personnel will stay the same too. I wonder if they're going to call a timeout here. Ryan Seavey leaning over the bench. Might try and wait as long as he can. I think they might just let the play go. As the faceoff is to the right of Fuller. Larson will take it. He will win it. Pack at the point. Across to Rasega. Back to Pack at the line. Walking a tightrope, gives it to Saturdon. Left side shot, save Fuller. And the rebound is punched through center ice. And cleared it all the way down. And because the Ice Wolves are on the penalty kill, which ends up being a double minor to Bickler. Ice Wolves can clear the puck down and face no consequences of an icing. Wranglers angle it in. And are offside. 1:33 left here in the third period. These two teams will be back at it tomorrow night, the final game of the two-game set here in Albuquerque, and the final game of the regular season series between these two clubs. Join us here on NATV and YouTube. 6:15 pregame show, 6:30 puck drop Mountain Time for all of us in the Central Time Zone, back home in the Yellow City. It'll be a 7:15 pregame show, 7:30 start time. I have it all for you here on the Wranglers Hockey Network. Larson over to Pack as the Wranglers gain the red line and just try and break the shutout bid for Fuller. Gain some momentum heading into tomorrow night. Phillips from the far half wall. Wheels it over to Saturdalen. In the near corner, has Larson behind the net. On his forehand, feeds Rasega. Up top, Pack drifts it to the left side for Saturdalen. Glanced off of his stick. Polomsky tries to divorce him from the puck, but the Wranglers dig deeper. 1 minute left in the third period. Ice Wolves clear to the empty net. Off the post and out. A double doink. 48 seconds left here in the third. Wranglers come down the right wing. It's Pack centering, looking for Phillips. Left side shot, save Fuller. The rebound, Rasega. It's blocked at the top of the slot. Wranglers keep possession. They feed Pack at the blue line. To the right side for Rasega. He'll shoot. It's blocked again. Waugh to the empty net. Off a stick and wide. Pack gets there for the Wranglers. 24 seconds left. Turnover, they score. Empty net goal for Andrew Earl. Puts him at 20 goals on the season. And New Mexico will win it 4-0. Pack had it, and Earl stole it away. Able to put it into the empty cage. And it looks like that's how this is going to end, as just seconds remain in the contest. Neutral zone face-off. Wranglers win it. Boulanger Plays it back to White. 15 seconds to go. Wranglers work it in deep. Ice Wolves clear. Project the puck back down to Shep Oysters. 6 seconds left on the clock. Anthony White has it, and the game will come to a close. Final score from Albuquerque. New Mexico takes it by the final score of 4-0. It's a big win for New Mexico. It's their 4th in a row as Jackson Fuller with the victory. He becomes the all-time wins leader for a goaltender in New Mexico Ice Wolves franchise history, and he does it in shutout fashion, stopping all 31 shots that he saw here tonight. Well, back in 1 minute here for the postgame show. We'll wrap this one up from Albuquerque and look ahead to tomorrow night when these two teams meet for the final time this season. Once again, it's the Ice Wolves 4 and the Wranglers nothing. We're back in 1 minute for the postgame show presented by the Amarillo Ice Ranch.
And get on down to Hooters.
Work. It means getting up early and getting on the road. It takes commitment, perseverance, and grit. You always get the job done. That's why at UniFirst, we provide the uniforms and services you need to work harder, smarter, and safer. We always deliver. Because you always deliver.
Final score from New Mexico. The Ice Wolves 4 and the Wranglers nothing. Tough loss for the Wranglers. Jackson Fuller continues his stellar play. Gets the victory in shutout fashion, stopping all 31 shots that he saw as the Ice Wolves win their 4th in a row, and Fuller becomes the all-time wins leader for a goaltender in Ice Wolves franchise history. No scoring in the first period, no penalties either. Things take a turn in the second period as we get 4 penalties combined in the middle frame, 3 against the Wranglers, 1 against the Ice Wolves. The Ice Wolves score on the power play to put them up 1-0 with 13:43 left in the second period. A long shot from Sean Smith goes off the stick of Sean Gibbons into the back of the net. It's a deflection goal. Sean to the back of the net. And after that point, the Ice Wolves led 1-0 through 40 minutes of play. To the third period we went, and that's when things really started to blow open in terms of the score and really the penalties as well. A lot of them I didn't necessarily agree with, but you know, you're not going to agree with all of them. And at the end of the day, the officials have the final word, and New Mexico had some good cracks at it on the power play tonight, and they ended up scoring 3 power play goals and tack on an empty netter to win 4-0 here tonight. 2 more power play goals late in the third period for New Mexico with 5:49 left. It is Toivo Noxonen scoring on a 5-on-3 on a bit of an odd sequence. So Mason Lupo gets called for slashing. Wranglers bench is irate about it. They're not happy at all. Can't quite tell you what was said down at ice level. Have to assume that it was not family-friendly enough to be said on a Disney movie. So Corey Walktek is assessed a bench minor, and he's tossed from the game. And Ty Azadi serves that penalty. Ice Wolves go to a 5-on-3, and that led to the Loxonen goal. Shep Oyster actually made the initial save on Andy Earl, who cut towards the net, but the kick save led to a rebound onto the tape of Loxonen. He was able to pot the goal. And then on the final power play goal for the Ice Wolves tonight, scored by Earl with 4:43 left in the third period. Gets goal number 19 on the season on the power play. So Ice Wolves score on the first penalty on the 5-on-3. Then they score on the remaining time left from the 5-on-3, which was then a 5-on-4 to make it 3-0, and then it all ends with an empty net goal from Andy Earl as he's able to swipe the puck away from Pack and slam it into the empty net for the final score of the night, making your final score 4-0 New Mexico. Interesting game here tonight. Had a bit of an odd flow to it. Things kind of ramped up as the game went on, and unfortunately for the Wranglers, I find out what just about every other team's found out here over the last couple of weeks. It's tough to beat Jackson Fuller as he picks up his 5th shutout of the season. You know, Fuller doesn't go to top prospects for nothing. Doesn't get named North American Hockey League Goaltender of the Month for nothing. He's on an incredible run, and he continues that here tonight as he blanks the Wranglers, who put up 31 shots on goal. So 8 shots in the first period for the Wranglers, 9 for the Ice Wolves, 9 in the second for both clubs, 14 in the third for both clubs. Makes your final shot count 32-31 as the Ice Wolves outshoot the Wranglers. It's tough to really say anything good about the offense in a shutout, but I do think that there were times towards the end of the game, especially in the third period, where the Wranglers are doing a good job working the puck around and getting some chances, but ultimately it's not enough. And it felt like throughout the first, I want to say 30 minutes or so here in tonight's game, the Wranglers didn't do a good job of getting bodies out in front of Fuller, really making life difficult for them. We didn't really see that until the third period when the Wranglers tried to get some urgency going. Might end up being too little too late for the Wranglers, the story in tonight's game, but I think the glaring thing for me for Amarillo tonight, and it's might be more of a testament to New Mexico's play, was the face-off. The face-off battle here tonight. I don't get an exact figure on that. I can't tell you what it was, but it really felt like New Mexico was winning face-offs much more often than the Wranglers were. They have possession, and they were able to make things happen out of it. And, you know, ultimately, special teams is what it is. You know, it's tough to take a bench minor leading to a 5-on-3 late in regulation, especially when you're trying to tie the game. In at what point was a 1-0 game. But, you know, these are mistakes that you learn from. But I think the problem for the Wranglers right now is they might not have enough time. They might not have enough time left in their season to turn that around. And so we're going to see if they can do it. Back in action tomorrow night here in Albuquerque at Outposts Ice Arenas. Wranglers in the Ice Wolves for the final time this season. Amarillo trying to win and get out of Albuquerque with 2 points in their back pocket. Let's take a look at some out-of-town scores as we wrap this one up here from New Mexico. Over at Ector County Coliseum, the Brahmas take down the Jackalopes 4-2, which is good for the Wranglers. Keeping Odessa at bay at 44 points. Colorado inactive this weekend. So all in all, nothing points-wise or standings-wise changes for the Wranglers, although certainly their chances don't get any better with a loss. Over at American Bank Center, Corpus Christi and Shreveport are tied. That game doesn't really impact the Wranglers all that much with 3.5 minutes left in the third period. And going to a shootout are the Warriors and the Rhinos. So not good there for the Wranglers. Oklahoma now at that point has tied the Wranglers for 40 points on the year. And those two teams are now tied for 8th place in the South Division. And El Paso is now up to 50 points on the campaign as they creep a point further away from the Wranglers, which is not good. So all in all, it's New Mexico winning 4-0. And the Wranglers will look to turn the ship around tomorrow night here in Albuquerque. Wranglers did a good job of putting shots on goal, especially in the final 2 periods. See if we can do that again here tonight here in Albuquerque. Once again, your final score, New Mexico 4, Amarillo 0. Jackson Fuller's your first star of the night, but Matt Shephoister, in a losing effort, was named the second star of the evening, as Shephoister here tonight ends up stopping 29 of 32. And he did have some dandy saves here tonight. See what the Wranglers do tomorrow as they look to find a way to turn the weekend around, get the split, and head on home for a day with the Lone Star Brahmas with lots and lots of momentum. That'll do it here from Albuquerque. I'm Guy Chiarenza saying good night and so long, and thank you for watching this presentation of the North American Hockey League. Ice Wolves win it 4-0 off of a 32-save shutout for Jackson Fuller. Good night and so long.